King_Kuuga, no. Streaming games and demos. Reacting with KingKuuga. Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.
All right. Well, it sounds like you've got your your chat on, and we are now live. All right. So I apologize. I'm still.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. This is I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants right now. So yeah, hello, we're here. I'm Verdict Scribe. We're going to watch some stuff, and Kuga's over there, and he's going to watch some stuff with me.
That's the plan.
That is the plan. So,
give me just a minute
that was suddenly
post
abrupt.
some stuff on social.
Yeah, I don't even know. Well, it says I'm live. It says I've got my stuff on. It sounds like you got your stuff on. So we're just gonna dive right into it.
Well, I need to give me just a minute here. I want to share the links to social. We can compile this real quick.
Good idea. I will just go ahead and put in here, and yeah, I have. Apparently.
There's me on Twitch. Where's my YouTube? Here's my YouTube. Okay.
Sure.
All my social links.
Okay. Hey, well, there we go. All right. I see that you're definitely alive. And looks like I am definitely alive. So, and I think all of my automatic stuff already went out. So there we go. Okay. Well, my stuff's good to go.
Right, 1 second here. Copy paste that. Put it into a bunch of places. Into there. And into where is this? With Brave browser. Get that just install this. Getting used to it still. Put my chats here. This chat.
Yeah. Thrilling live action.
Woo! Yeah, watch us. Watch us do shit.
Post on our socials.
So exciting! Are we influencers yet?
Oh man!
Are you influenced?
Are we influencers?
Be influenced. All right, one more thing to do. We should post it on Blue Sky as well, but I won't.
All right. Geez. Okay. Yeah. There's. All right. All right. Looks like we've got some chat. There we go. Oh yeah, we've got some people showing up. All right. Cool. All right. Now I can actually see my chat if I actually open the chat window. There we go. Cool. All right. I think I've got everything ready to go here. If you're ready to go.
I'm ready. Like SpongeBob said.
Cool. All right.
Woo! Yahoo!
Full disclosure, I have already seen this direct. but Kuuga has not. So
I saw like half to a third of it, I think. I watched a little bit more on my lunch break today since we last spoke of this.
all right.
But yeah, I have not seen the whole thing all the way through. So this is Mario Kart. Are we gonna let the trailers play, or are we gonna comment during the trailers?
I mean, yeah, we can comment during the trailers. I mean, I've already seen some of this, but and like I said, I've seen the whole
Boats,
thing.
there. Are boats new to Mario Kart? I've never been like
Yeah,
much for Mario Kart.
these are all new tracks. So everything that you're seeing here, none of this is the same from any of the Mario Karts, as far as I know. This is all brand new, including rail grinding apparently, and wall riding, and the cow. The cow is new.
Cow, best character.
Indeed. You should have seen the reactions on like on Twitter and whatnot. Like everybody wanted more cow. Apparently, we've got costumes.
Who needs more cow?
We've got costumes.
More cow.
That's cool.
A freaking whale. If I liked Mario Kart more, I'd be all over this. It's not a knock on Mario
Hello,
Kart.
everyone. I'm
By any
Koichi
means.
Kawamoto,
It's just
and I'll be
a very
one of your
social
guides for
game.
today's Nintendo
I
Direct.
don't have a lot of people to play with.
And
I
no
don't
worries.
I don't really feel like I don't enjoy it on my own.
Well,
I'm
and it's definitely going to be a
It
very
looks good.
social game for
Nintendo
sure.
Switch
That
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm
they've
Tetsuya
made
Sasaki,
made
the
it very
hardware
clear
designer
how
for
social it's
Nintendo
going to
Switch
be.
2.
Yeah,
What
it's a
you just
great
saw
looking
was
party
Mario
game.
Kart World,
whole
launching
fr- the whole
exclusively
franchise
on
is.
Nintendo Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think this
The
brand new
online
Mario
scene's
Kart
pretty
game
good.
will be like?
Been pretty steady. So
A brand new entry in the Mario Kart series is launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system.
I've never
Welcome
had
to
the
this
desire to get
vast
Mario
world.
Kart for myself, and I don't think this is
Kart
going to
races
change
are
that.
held throughout various
I'm
regions
excited
that
for
span the
it.
globe.
It looks great.
It
Depending on
does.
the time of day
100%
and weather
play it with
conditions,
100%
the atmosphere
play it
will
with
change.
people. And based on what they say later, maybe we can do that without me having to buy it.
We'll see.
And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world.
Open world Mario Kart.
Open World Mario
In the
Kart.
Classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for first place. But don't sleep at
Oh, by the way,
wheel.
chat, I do apologize
You'll
for
also
slipping
drive
in and
to
out
the
of
next
existence.
course as part of the competition.
I don't have anything to actually curl
With
me,
24
so it's just
drivers
trying to
in each
detect my
race,
outline.
the most in
Black
series
shirt, black
history,
chair.
the
You can't see the black
competition
chair,
is
but
gearing up.
yeah. So,
You-
apologies if my shoulder faces in and out of
Introducing-
existence.
You're just going to be
Knockout Tour.
ethereal.
That was a nice outfit for Peach.
Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another.
I've been playing Metroid Prime 2, so I'm stuck between light and dark ether.
There are multiple checkpoints along the way. If you're below the placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated.
Hello, Spooky.
Cat!
Can you make it all the way to the finish line?
Special guest star, Spooky.
You can also freely drive around this vast world in free roam. By going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So
I'll be
drive
honest, I
wherever
didn't
your
really
heart
even
takes
pay
you.
attention to this the first time I watched it.
You can also go for scenic drives with
There
friends.
seems to be more to this than
and
the
even take
trailer I
photos
was
together
watching.
at different locations.
I do not remember them talking about this feature.
This is the most social of all of the Mario Karts.
A brand new race across the entire world starts here. Mario Kart World! The game launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2.
Obvious launch title.
More details about this title will be shared in an upcoming Mario Kart World Direct. So be on the lookout for
You gotta
more
have a Mario
information
game of some
in
sort.
the future.
It's the law.
Yeah, although the original launch title for the Switch was a
Mario
Zelda
Kart
game,
World
not a Mario
launches
game.
on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. We'll share more details in the future, so we
I'm
hope
with
you're
you,
looking
Brian.
forward to it.
It's fun. I'm not great at it, but it's fun.
Next, we'd like to introduce some of the new features of Nintendo Switch 2. These are the Joy-Con 2 controllers for Switch 2. And on the right Joy-Con 2, we've added a new C button.
A C button.
Let's take a look at some new
I see.
experiences it offers.
I bet we're about to see.
Alone.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys.
We're all alone together.
Oh.
That was you.
Wasn't that like all of like 2020?
Oh,
Yep.
no. Wait, no.
Having flashbacks.
No, I'm about to get first.
Oh god, my face is phasing out now.
Introducing Game Chat, a new feature for Nintendo Switch 2.
The C is for chat.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, missed you.
With this feature,
What happens if
you'll
you
be
turn it
able to
upside down?
communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
Should we follow you? Yeah?
Comes
Okay.
backwards C for not Wumbo.
While using the Game Chat feature, your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system.
Oh, okay. But you're still behind me, right? All right, let's keep going. Okay. So,
It can pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a distance.
look at this. Jump on here. All right, let's
I
keep
wonder
going.
about that.
Let's make a left right here. Let's make a
When it's noisy around you, your voice will still come through clearly.
AI
letting
noise
you chat with ease.
You
cancellation.
get hit by a boat. Okay, nice.
It does look beautiful. It's opaque.
I wonder
And
how
you can
bad
use
it's
this
going to
feature
be.
in handheld mode too, letting you easily chat.
Well, I know
with
they're
friends and
selling a separate
family.
microphone, so
If you open the
Clearly
chat
they're
menu
anticipating it's
and
not gonna be
turn
all
on
that in a
game
bag of
screen
chips.
sharing,
Makes sense.
There we go. There we go.
you can also share your game screen.
Did you see someone just like go on top of that dinosaur?
Really? They can do that?
Can do it? You guys, I just did it. Oh, I want to do it too.
Oh shoot! Oh! Ooh! Oh, he's trying to eat me. He's trying to eat me.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Oh no!
Okay.
And
You can chat to your heart's content.
I'll be
Even while
honest,
playing
I
different
like
games.
that idea.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
the
one. It's
like
so hard, right?
essentially it's
Tough.
built-in
Oh wow!
Discord
In the sky
into
right
the
here.
Switch.
Ah, I fell. I'm falling. Okay, we got it. We're safe.
Yep.
Kirby. Look,
That's exactly what it is.
That's so cute. So cute.
You can adjust the size of
they're
your
all
game
playing different
screen.
games.
Yep.
They're all playing Pikmin.
Guys, I'm lost. Like,
Where'd you go?
Or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that wall that's to your left.
You're almost there.
It's
though.
just like the wall. Like if she gets past the wall.
this is where I have to do a little.
This
wall
is
ride.
Nah, you're lost. You figure that out yourself. That's not how Mario Kart works. You're lost, you figure it out.
I think I know where you are.
This is pretty much Nintendo's answer to use our console instead of playing on PC.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's take a picture here.
Okay, are you ready?
Smile.
Yay!
Oh,
Aw.
yo, that's sick.
I like your pose, Meeks.
On the right Joy-Con 2 controller, there's an additional button. With the C button, you can pull up
see.
a chat menu.
The C is for chat.
Wait, actually, guys, I got a call coming right now, so I'll be right back. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Here, you can quickly and easily mute yourself and more. And there's this. By connecting this camera to the system,
Hey.
Hey, what's up? Hello. Yo. Nick.
Hi. How's everyone doing? Good.
you can appear on screen.
Like I
and
said,
video chat while
it's
playing a game.
built-in Discord.
Wait, Nick, how was your test yesterday?
It was good.
No.
Or
Here's
Zoom,
how it looks
or
with just the
well, I'd say
camera.
Skype.
Yeah, Skype's dead.
Teams.
I bet you like that.
Please look
Discord
forward to
is like
games
the
that use your camera
superior-
feed like this.
Yeah, I know. Discord is the thing for gamers.
No, wait. No,
But
no.
obvious integration of the camera into the games.
Using game
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
Even when you're apart, you can play games and hang out as if you were together in the same room.
Even though you're not, because you never know when we're going to have another pandemic.
Chat while playing your personal favorites.
Always over person on Rainbow
Set your
Road.
own rules for a retro game competition.
Did you win?
Or hold a sports competition between families.
Spike.
All together, anytime, anywhere.
They forgot to change the language to
Game
English on the
chat.
screen, that video feed. Nintendo, you're slipping.
What did you think? In developing Game Chat, our goal was for you to enjoy playing online with others more closely, including family and friends. Almost as if you're all playing together in the same place. The
We
camera
would
you
like to
saw in
play.
the trailer is the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, which will be available on the same day
I
as
wonder
Switch
if
2.
you can just use any old camera though, or do you have to use
A
their
Nintendo Switch
proprietary
Online membership
camera?
will be required to use Game Chat.
That would be awful if you had to.
However,
Yeah.
since we'd like as many people
I have a
as
feeling though
possible to
that it's just
experience Game Chat,
USB-C.
it will be available
I have a
without
feeling you could
membership.
probably
I think they
just
say.
We hope
I
you'll
think
try
they
it
say
out.
that you can use any camera, any compatible camera.
Additionally,
somewhere.
Game Chat supports the Nintendo Switch Parental Controls app.
I-
and different
I'm
settings
sure
can
there's
be
going to be
adjusted.
some
For example,
frequently asked
whether parental
question
permission is
or
always
something
required
about
when
that.
a child wants to use Game Chat to play with their friends.
It's like I watched this bit earlier, and I'm pretty sure
I'd like
they
to introduce another
acknowledge
new
you can use any
experience you can share with
USB-C
family and
camera.
friends. On Nintendo Switch, even
So
if
they-
you just
you know,
have one game,
they wanna sell you
can
theirs.
pass a Joy-Con controller to a friend and play together. But on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play together locally on multiple systems using just one game, with Game Share. As shown here, even games that require multiple screens can be played
Well, maybe
if one person owns a
I
compatible
think
game.
this will
With
definitely
Game Share,
get
you can
more
temporarily share
multiplayer
compatible
going,
games
I
with
have a
others who
feeling,
also have
especially
Nintendo
among
Switch 2
friends.
or a Nintendo Switch system.
Yeah.
You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. Game Share also supports
Nintendo
online
Switch
play
Lite plays
with other
games that
Switch
support
2
handheld
systems, and you can use it with friends via Game Chat, which we showed earlier.
So I wonder if
Game
Game
Share
Chat
can only be
is
used
going to
with
be
compatible games.
Switch
This
2
feature is
only,
planned for several titles,
because they're showing
starting with
like
a free update
cross-platform
for
between the
Clubhouse
1 and
Games
the 2.
51 Worldwide Classics on Nintendo Switch.
I think
Game Share
the
support is also
old
planned
the
for
Switch
select
1
games
models can
exclusive.
receive, but they can't send.
You'll look forward to it.
Would be my assumption.
Up next, we'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 system itself.
Oh, they're color coded. That's clever.
Please take a look.
Their shirts are the
Seems
same
that
color as
way,
as the Joy-Con buttons.
That's I'm sure that's
At
intentional.
7.9 inches,
Oh, of course.
Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen. Here's how that compares to Nintendo Switch. The system's thickness
But they don't
remains
show
the
it, which is interesting.
What they don't show what you
But
got
I-
cut off.
the- still look-
double the pixels compared to
It
Switch.
still looks like it's
You can
bigger
enjoy
than the
games
OLED
in
screen,
greater
though.
detail on the 1080p screen.
That didn't make it look better there, Nintendo.
There you
I know
go,
they were
zooming
going
all the
full
way
depth.
up to the
Supports
pixel.
Up to 120
I know they're doing
frames
it,
per
it didn't
second, allowing for
make it
smoother
look good.
gameplay in supported titles. The LCD screen is more vivid and supports HDR, providing more contrast.
And it's interesting
between
they're
light
calling it
and
an
dark areas of the
LCD screen,
images.
not an OLED screen.
The all-new Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically. Strong magnets keep the
Freaking
controllers
magnets.
firmly
How do they
attached
work?
to the system. Detach your controller easily by pressing the release button on the back.
Oh, so they do have a release button.
Yeah.
And
I'm
SR
curious if it
buttons
like
are
interrupts the
bigger for
magnetic
grip control when playing with a Joy-Con 2
electromagnetic
held
flow,
horizontally.
or if it just physically pushes it off the, gives you enough leverage to pull it off the device.
I have a feeling it's
The left
leverage,
and right
but
sticks are now larger.
I guess we'll see. And mouse controls,
Each
everybody
Joy-Con
figured
2
out that it was going to be
controller
mouse
can
controls.
used as a mouse to play with compatible games. Both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support mouse controls. By adjusting the audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in
excuse me.
handheld and
They
tabletop modes.
actually have it noise
It has a
bouncing.
built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends
Interesting.
anytime via Game Chat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly. Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sound, as if it were coming from all around you.
Oh, As long as you're using headphones.
Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand. You can move it freely, like this.
I like that.
Yeah,
They're
well, they
they're
did that
very-
with the
In
OLED.
addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well.
Well, it's still got a headphone jack. That's nice.
It's handy for
Mhm.
connecting a USB-C camera or charging in tabletop mode.
Which that's brilliant. That is the engineering fix
much
they
needed
needed.
feature.
Nintendo
Much
Switch
needed.
2 comes with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch, for storing your game downloads, save data, and more.
But you could always
Reading
just
and
get an
writing
SD
data
card,
is also faster.
like the
What's an
rest
SD
of us.
card?
Use
But
the
it is
Nintendo
nice
Switch
that they
to
actually have
SDEX
more
card.
internal.
to your TV and
That's
enable
true.
up to
Yeah,
4K
micro SD
resolution for
Express
compatible
specifically.
games.
They're going to talk about
HDR
it.
is also supported in TV mode.
Appreciate the 4K though.
The Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your system cool. This helps keep performance stable.
Probably needed.
On Nintendo Switch 2, you can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
I should hope so. Like, full backwards compatibility is a very good feature. They're really cool.
This is
I
true.
guess.
As you just saw, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't simply an improved Nintendo Switch. We redesigned the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay features. And to help players better understand the Switch 2 hardware, we're currently developing this game. Mr. Kawamoto!
Hello. My current location is actually inside the game itself. This is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2.
This is our answer to Astrobot.
I'm standing over here. Okay, everyone, join me inside the game. There are a lot of question mark icons here. Let's examine them. This sign reads, "Where are the magnets?" The Joy-Con 2 controllers attach to the system with magnets. And those magnets are inside the system. The SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2 are made of metal, so that's how they attach to the system.
That's interesting.
A magnetic circuit is formed between them, so they won't easily detach. Through examining signs like these, you can discover all sorts of secrets about Nintendo Switch 2. Another example, the Joy-Con 2 controllers have mouse controls. And when combined with the gyroscopes, you can even do something like this. You can adjust the position of the golf club and aim for the cup by rotating the Joy-Con 2. By combining the mouse controls and gyroscopes, things like this are possible. There are secrets to discover. even as
I
you're playing
really
mini games or
appreciate
text
that
demos.
though, because that's something you can't do on like
Some of the
PC
secrets
or
range
other
from the
console
unique features
games.
of the system to
Yeah, dual
tiny
mouse,
details
it's
you
cool.
might not notice until they're pointed out. There are plenty.
Mouse plus gyro.
Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour will launch as a paid digital game on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. So please check it out
It's a
if you're interested.
tutorial for the system.
Now,
Yep,
I'd like
and you have
share
to
some more
pay for
information
it.
regarding
That
Nintendo
I do
Switch
not
2.
like.
Yeah,
at all, and I understand. I understand why
Astrobot
everybody
came
just said
free
it.
with the PS5.
Switch 2 titles.
Astro's Playroom came free with the
It's the same
PS5,
shape
not
as Nintendo
Astrobot,
Switch
excuse
game
me.
card,
Astrobot
but
was
it's now
actually a
red,
full
and
game.
it has much
Astro's
faster
Playroom
data
was a
reading speed.
free
Next
console
up
thing
is additional
that came with the
storage.
PS5.
Switch
It's
2
basically
will
it's
only
like
work
it's
with
Wii
micro
Sports,
SD
but not
express
even
cards.
as
There are
much. It's
different
just a
types of
it's
SD
a
card and will make
gamified
high-speed data
tutorial to the
transfers
console.
possible.
It's just the instruction manual. And they're charging you for it. That
Please
is a
note,
load of
their
bullshit,
regular
in my
micro
opinion.
SD cards used for
I
Nintendo
agree.
Switch will not
So
be
you
compatible.
notice it has that little EX on
Additionally,
the
to transfer data from
on the
Switch to Switch
micro
2,
SD card.
you can log into
So
your Nintendo
specifically
account
has
to
to
use
be
the
the
system transfer
micro
feature.
SD
With this
Express
feature,
not
You can
just a
transfer
regular
save
micro
data,
SDXE
digital games,
card.
and more. We're also releasing a new Pro controller. It has a C button, which launches Game Chat, and on the back, there are new GL and GR buttons, which you can use to assign existing button controls. In addition,
I
Real
never
Pro
got, I never
controller
got
has been
a
added.
Pro controller for my Switch.
We've introduced a few
I did.
new features,
I
and after
got
today's
mine.
presentation,
I just couldn't
the
justify
official
paying,
Nintendo
what,
Switch 2
60, 70
website
bucks for
will
it.
go live. There will also
Eh,
be an Ask
I think I
Developer
got.
article
I had
on
like
the
a
website
coupon, or
where
I
the three
traded
of
in
us
some
will
games
talk
for
about
this
the
one.
development of Nintendo Switch 2. We hope you'll check that out as well.
And now, the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date. Nintendo
Controllers
Switch
are
2 launches on June
expensive.
5th.
Like, I was looking at like
We're very
Xbox
much looking
controllers.
forward to
By the way,
day
June
when you all get
5th.
to experience it, so please wait just a bit longer.
June
So I
5th.
did the math. 3,016
Now.
days since the launch of the Switch.
Broadly speaking,
8
on
years,
Nintendo Switch
There you
2,
go.
3
you
months,
can play 3
2
types
days.
of games.
Mm.
The first type is Nintendo Switch 2 games. These games take
the
advantage
longest
of
between
performance
any
and
two
features of Switch 2.
Nintendo releases.
The second
Huh.
type is compatible games that were released
I
on
didn't know it
Nintendo
was actually
Switch.
that was the longest.
Nintendo Switch
Oh, yeah, by
2
a long
edition
shot.
games are the third type.
Well, pandemic really kind
Some
of
games
like
that were
delayed
released on
everything.
Switch will receive upgraded versions that offer
I'll bet,
things
yeah,
like
I feel like
improved
that.
visuals, unique ways to play on Switch 2, and more.
I mean, rumors about the NX were going around
Now,
for like,
I'd like to show you the
3,
Nintendo Switch
4
2 edition
years,
of Super Mario
feel
Party
like.
Jamboree.
I think so. Yeah.
Please take a look.
Yeah, it was in development for a while, from what I remember.
Super Mario Party Jamboree
like I had a bet
is
with a
getting
friend.
an upgrade
It
on
was like,
Nintendo
it's
Switch
like, if
2.
I said, I doubt they'll get to 8 years.
The
When
upgrade
it got to 8
expands on
years,
the base
Like,
game
when
and
the-
adds new
When the
features,
OLED was
including
being made,
mouse
everybody thought it
controls,
was going to be the Switch 2
Switch
or
2.
Super Switch or whatever they
audio
wanted,
recognition,
whatever it was going to be.
more expressive rumble, and gameplay
What's this,
that
Mario
uses
Party,
a
you said?
camera accessory. All of which can be accessed on Switch 2.
That's cute.
Let's check out 3 new and updated modes. First up is Mario Party mode. With a single camera, up to 4 players can join the festivities. You'll be able to see each other's faces as you play, so you can experience all the reactions and emotions in real time. Or 4 friends can take the party online. Up next, it's Bowser Live, a mode where the livelier team wins. Bowser will bring you on stage to hit blocks to collect the most coins, guide an RC car with your voice, go, and compete in other mini-games using full body movement and sound. Finally, take a ride on the mouse-controlled carnival coaster. With the safety bar lowered and secured,
I want to play that Mario Party. Yeah, watch my face.
use mouse controls to shoot down enemies while you feel the bumps and rumbles of the coaster.
As a roller coaster enthusiast, I'm on board with this.
When
There you go.
enter a pipe, a mini-game will begin. There's a
Minigame
bouldering
pipes.
game where 2 players each control an arm, and one where you shake a can of spray paint and quickly tag objects. Enjoy the thrill of
Enjoy
these
all the
intuitive
gimmicks.
mini-games. How quickly can you reach the station? From mini-games that use a camera, the built-in microphone, mouse controls, and rumble, the biggest party yet is getting even bigger. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Jamboree TV, launches on Nintendo Switch 2, July 24th.
I think this is like the most multiplayer
Nintendo
friendly
Switch
they've
2
ever been.
players who already own Super Mario Party Jamboree can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV by purchasing an upgrade pack.
I did not know that this was an non-existent
Please
game.
look forward to a new Mario
must have
Party
missed that memo.
experience, where you can see
Yeah,
each other's reactions while
yeah,
playing.
Jamboree I think was like
Let's
the.
continue presenting some more Nintendo Switch 2
I
edition.
want to say it
games.
came out 2023.
Nintendo Switch 2 editions of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom feature enhanced resolution and frame rates,
I still have not played those. I played a
also
little bit of
support
Breath of the
HDR,
Wild at a friend's place.
which makes the image
They're
more
really
vibrant.
good. I
I
mean,
was definitely enjoying it.
really good. Yeah,
I've
the
just
combat
never-
is.
Plus,
The combat's a
get
little
even more out of
difficult
your
at first,
adventures in
but once
Hyrule
you get
using
used
Zelda
to it,
moves.
it's probably one of the best
This
Zelda
new
games I've
feature
ever
can be
played.
accessed via the Nintendo Switch app
And
on
I think
smart
it
devices.
really benefits from the
It's
large
a
open
game-specific
world.
service that's exclusive to the Switch 2 editions of these titles.
Well,
For example,
get on it,
it can
Brittany.
help
It's a
guide you
map.
to various locations, like shrines and Koroks you
Interesting.
haven't found yet.
Guidance
Anyway, so
activated.
I have barely
Proceed
played any Legend of Zelda ever. That's my guilty
Well,
confession.
both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are definitely
share
worth
your
it.
creations
I
using
do
QR
recommend that
codes
you
and send
play
them to
it
another player to create in their game.
in that order too. Like, you don't have to play Breath of the Wild, but you should play Breath of the Wild first
Listen, I've played a little bit of it
because
and
it
was
really
good.
sets the stage.
We hope these
Yeah.
features
Also,
will make
Brittany,
your
you
adventures
technically don't
even
have to
more
rebuy it.
enjoyable.
You just have to, if you want, you can buy the upgrade pack. I don't know. It gets you access to the app,
Kirby
or
and
the
Forgotten
app
Land,
map, and maybe
you'll be
some
able
other
to
stuff, maybe
enjoy
some
an
visual
additional story
enhancements.
exclusive
But it
to
should
the
play just
Nintendo
fine
Switch
on its
2
own.
edition, along with improved graphics
On the
and
Switch
frame
2.
rates.
This is a bunch of
This story takes
cross-platform
place in
games, I guess.
Forgotten Land after being struck by a powerful meteor that's causing some mysterious changes.
When it comes to rebuying it, you are they're gonna say it. You only have
hope
to
you're
just
looking
buy
forward
the
to Kirby's
upgrade.
new
You don't
adventure.
have to rebuy the whole game.
Metroid
You
Prime
could.
4 Beyond will have both a
Oh.
Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. In addition to standard controls, you can use mouse controls for intuitive gameplay on Switch 2.
For all the mouse and
Plus,
keyboard
you
purists.
can explore the immersive world in 4K at 60 frames per second, or enjoy smoother action in full HD at 120 frames per second. Choose from these two modes, both of which support HDR, based on your preference and playstyle. Plus, Pokémon Legends ZA, which is scheduled to launch later this year, will not only receive a Nintendo Switch version, but
forgot
a
about that
Nintendo
one.
Switch 2 edition as well. By taking advantage of the power of Switch 2, you can enjoy your adventure in Lumio City with enhanced resolution and frame rates. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition games you just saw will be available as both physical and digital versions. And if you already own the Nintendo Switch version of a game, you can play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing an upgrade pack. We hope you're looking forward to these Nintendo Switch 2 edition games.
Next, I'd like to introduce a brand new game featuring mouse controls with the Joy-Con 2 controllers. Please take a look.
Yes, it is my glory game indeed. By the way.
Mm.
DJ Hero's back.
This actually is a neat idea.
It is.
Wheelchair basketball, the video game.
That's interesting.
And maybe this will get more people to watch wheelchair basketball too. Also sounds like they got some of the music artists from Splatoon to do the soundtrack.
It does give me a bit of just overall a bit of a Splatoon vibe. Like same dev team or something, I don't know.
Could be similar dev team. might be
In drag
borrowing a
and
few
drive,
people.
You'll use both Joy-Con 2 controllers as mice to intuitively pull off various moves. We hope you're looking forward to a new twist on 3-on-3 matches using dual mouse controls. Next, here are some games from our publishing and development partners coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
I have long observed the lands between.
I think this is The Witcher 4. No. Nope. Elden Ring. Never mind.
Yeah, play that.
You can see them, can't you? The
It's a good excuse to do so, I suppose.
that guide you through your
People like it.
Then again, it might be cheap. It'd be cheaper on PS4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a 5, but I've thought about getting a 5.
I enjoy my 5. And you might as well, if you don't have a 5 now, you might as well just get a 5 Pro if you can afford it.
Not a remake, Brittany, just an enhanced edition.
Hey, I'm Greg Kasavin from Supergiant Games. Here to say that Hades 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Meredith's been playing a lot of Hades, so I think she'd be excited for Hades too.
I got a friend
She
that
says
likes
she already
Hades.
owns it. Never mind.
Beyond the underworld to the ends of the earth. Getting to know dozens of characters from Greek myth in a story that reacts to your every setback and victory. It's the kind of game you can quickly pick up and play whether you're experienced with the original or not. Look for more about Hades 2.
I think I played a little bit
later
of this at a friend's place. The first one, I mean.
皆さんこんにちは。カプコンの中山です。我々がお届けするタイトルはストリートファイター
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 6 specifically.
持ち寄っての対戦はもちろん、任天堂スイッチ2だけの新モードもあります。ソフトは通常版の他に総勢26キャラクターを収録した Years 1-2 Fighters Edition の2バージョンを、さらにゲームと連動するアミーボとアミーボカードも一緒にスイッチ2の発売
It already comes with the first 2 years of characters unlocked. That's kind of nice.
Initiating Arsenal boot sequence. Weapon safety mechanism confirmed. All operating at normal levels. Testing
This
gear link
is
response.
Demon X Machina 2, I think.
Commencing launch.
Never heard of it.
After 2 long wars where our freedom
Demon X Machina was for the original Switch, and I played the demo of it. I really liked it. It's just, I guess I just never got around to buying the full game.
I'm for sale, and you're buying.
It definitely has like that Armored Core feel.
Planet will be ours.
It gives me like a knockoff Kojima Metal Gear Solid vibe.
I would say Zone of the Enders is a little more similar.
Maybe.
Which was made by the same people who did Metal Gear Solid, actually.
All children bring hope to our lives, don't they?
Bark. You can pet the dog.
Hey, this is Joseph Forrest from Hazelight. I'm super excited for Split Fiction to come to Nintendo Switch 2. The game is a story about friendship. You play as Mio, who writes sci-fi, and Zoe, who writes fantasy. Together, they get trapped in their own stories, and it's up to you and a friend to help them break free. Now, let me tell you this, if you like It Takes Two, you're gonna love this one, trust me.
We liked It Takes Two up until the part where you had to destroy the elephant. And then we just said, nope.
We're bringing fans together.
It's fun, just be prepared to hate the game at a certain point.
FC will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Madden NFL.
You and I need to play that.
On the Nintendo platform.
Not
What,
Madden.
Madden?
It takes 2.
It Takes Two?
Hi,
Yeah, we hit.
from
I
Avalanche
mean,
Software.
I'm pretty sure we
We
have
are
it.
bringing Hogwarts Legacy to Nintendo Switch 2. With enhanced
I believe
graphics and seamless world
it was
transition,
PS4, so
you'll be immersed in the Wizarding world like never before. And the new mouse controls on Switch 2 give you even more ways to experience the adventure. Discover the enhanced magic when Hogwarts Legacy launches on the same day as Switch 2.
Captain, is that mic supposed to be on?
Tony Hawk.
it's too bad we never know what he looks like.
I played Someone got me Tony Hawk's American Wasteland for GameCube one year, and I played the crap out of that for a while. That was fun. It had an actual story. It's a fun game. I should revisit that. Bikini Bottom!
Yep, they have a Bikini Bottom level.
Hello, this is Christian Elverdam from IO Interactive. We are bringing our flagship title, Hitman World of Assassination, to Nintendo Switch 2. As the best assassin in the trade, Agent 47 does everything he can to accomplish his mission. And how each mission progresses will vary depending on the player's imagination. Our ever-expanding game will release on the same day as Switch 2. Plus, we are excited to bring another familiar agent to the platform.
I wonder what other spy game that is super popular.
Silver Nose? Gotta be Silver Nose. Maybe Ron's Ear.
James Bond. The world's favorite spy is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
The story of light and shadow that never fades.
Roger Moore better be a Roger Moore skin. Yeah.
Bravely Default returns.
I don't know if it's going to be GoldenEye or if it might just be a whole brand new 007 game, to be honest.
I think it said GoldenEye.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think they showed that. I missed it. It's whatever. I need to play Bravely Default. I've seen about all these games.
I played the demo. I never bought the actual game.
So many games I should play. Instead, I spend my money on Transformers. Or Gundams.
セガ龍が如くスタジオ代表の横山です。
It's Yakuza.
タイトルは龍が如くゼロ誓いの場所ディレクターズカットです。1988年東京と大阪2つの歓楽街を舞台に土地を巡る争奪戦が勃発。伝説の始まりを追加シーンとともにお楽しみください。発売日は任天堂スイッチ2の発売と同じ日です。今後のシリーズ展開にもぜひご期待ください。
The Yakuza games are actually pretty good, but they're also kind of weird.
Development partners. But for now, we'd like to show a game being developed in collaboration with Nintendo. Please take a look.
Koei Tecmo.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens, joined hands with the
Hyrule Warriors 2. Hyrule Warriors 3.
Their union led to a great and prosperous kingdom.
Yep. The first Hyrule Warriors was a standalone game. The second one was a prequel to Breath of the Wild. And this one is a prequel, well, the other side of what's happening in Tears of the Kingdom. And this is now the third game that you actually play as Princess Zelda as the main character.
Back in time.
So that's Hyrule Castle? Then that must mean this really is the past.
Honestly, I am excited to play this story. And also, I'm excited to play as her, too. Is, Age of Imprisonment. And yeah, Ganondorf is hot again, and also voiced by Matt Mercer.
Oh, what? That's illegal.
Yep.
Hyrule Warriors Age of
He's
Imprisonment.
not allowed to be that hot.
It's being developed by Koei Tecmo.
There is no reason why he should be that hot, but he
Looking
is.
forward to the untold story of the imprisoning war which took place in Hyrule long ago.
And now, some news about Nintendo Switch Online. You can continue to enjoy Nintendo Switch Online on Switch 2. And with Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack, you can enjoy a new membership benefit exclusively on Switch 2.
Kingdom is a hot info now.
Take a look at this.
Yep.
You mean Ganondorf?
Nintendo
Ganondorf.
Switch Online Plus
I think
expansion pack will be
autocorrect
getting a new classic
Yeah.
game
had something to
library
say about that.
exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo GameCube, originally released in 2001. Here are the titles that will be available at launch.
That was just yesterday,
a Legend
right?
of Zelda game that looks like a
Just
cartoon
yesterday,
come to
right?
life
Yep.
through cell shading. Controlling the wind using a mysterious baton.
When you realize
GameCube
the
is going to
GameCube
be
is closer
Switch
to
2
the NES
exclusive.
The Legend
than
of
to the
Zelda,
Switch 2.
The Wind Waker. Transcending history and
This
lore.
I'm excited about.
A tale
Soul
of
Calibur
souls
2.
and
This was
swords
my jam back in the
perfectly
day.
In this 3D
I was a
weapons-based
Talon
game,
main.
Each fighter comes equipped with a different weapon, and
I
Link
have
from the Legend
that.
of Zelda series enters the fray.
I think like I bought a Soul
Calibur
Calibur, played it for like an hour,
Experience a world of
never again.
white-knuckle racing at speeds
Hey, Vergus, you want to feel old?
2,000 kilometers per hour.
I'm personally of the opinion Soul Calibur 2 was the best one.
Flying races. Featuring the series' first machine customization and story mode, get ready to experience F-Zero GX.
Who wants to feel old?
In games that support multiplayer,
Yeah.
up to
The
4 can play together
GameCube,
locally
launch of the
online.
GameCube is closer to the launch of the NES than it is to the
Enjoy
launch of
these
the Switch
classic
2.
games with clearer image quality and higher resolution than the original
I feel
release.
too old already.
You can also check the controls for each title and customize them to your liking. More titles will be added in the future.
No Metroid.
Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics, the Switch 2 exclusive game library coming to Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack, launches the same day as the hardware's release.
It seems to be a Switch
And
2 exclusive,
dedicated controllers
so I don't
designed
think
after the
GameCube's
original
coming to the
GameCube
regular
controller
Switch.
will also be released.
It's
It
already
can
on the
connect
regular Switch.
wirelessly and also has a
And
SIM
finally, the
button
Wavebird
with
controller's
access to
back.
Game chat. The Nintendo GameCube controller, exclusively available for Nintendo Switch Online members, will also be available.
And I'm
the
sure
same
all the
day as
Smash
Nintendo
players are going
Switch
to
2.
be excited about that.
Whether you're familiar with the
This
games or
GameCube
haven't played
controller
them
is the best
before,
way to play Smash.
we hope you're looking forward to Nintendo
First thing I remind you that the GameCube library is already available on
Of
Nintendo
course,
Switch
you
Online
can continue
Plus.
to play select games from
for
the
not to charge
system
on
shown
Switch 1.
here on Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, let's see some more games from our publishing and development partners.
And that's exciting for everybody that plays Deltarune.
Undertale? No.
Yep,
Okay,
it's
still go
it
through it.
actually,
Okay.
yeah, it's the
Oh,
parallel
parallel
story
story,
to
okay.
Undertale. Yep.
I've not heard of it, so.
Yeah, to be honest, I still have yet to play Undertale, so
I played a little bit of it, and I watched someone play a little bit of it. I need to do that. I should do that on stream sometime. That's the only way I'm going to get around to playing it.
yeah.
I'm out of water.
Hi, I'm Randy from Gearbox. Borderlands 4, our upcoming flagship Borderlands game, will launch
Another
on
series I need to
Nintendo
get into.
Switch 2. Borderlands is
Borderlands 2 was the best one. 3 was kind of
and outrageous weapons.
not
We're still in
like
development, and it's already the most ambitious Borderlands game.
technically it was okay, but
Borderlands 4 will
the
launch in
story was kind of mid.
2025. We'll be sharing a lot of the game in the months ahead, and there's more from 2K on the way.
Hi, I'm Dennis Shirk from Firaxis Games. We're releasing a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Sid Meier's Civilization 7. In Civ 7, you'll establish an empire and guide your people throughout the ages of history. With the new mouse controls,
Isn't that like every
players can
Civilization
enjoy a
game?
more intuitive gameplay
Pretty
experience.
much.
Civ 7 launches on the same day as Switch 2.
I mean, I can't knock it.
You
They're
can
all,
play it like
you
the
know,
PC
everybody's
version.
on
On
it.
the Nintendo Switch version, you can experience mouse
Why
controls
wouldn't I get
in
the
Switch
PC
2
version then?
by purchasing the upgrade.
The mouse control.
And we have even more news from
On like the mouse on a PC.
Hi, I'm Lionel Jinx.
Might as
And
well
I'm
just
Ben
get the
Bishop.
PC version. It's
Our
probably
final
going to be
announcement
cheaper.
for today is that WWE 2K is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Plus NBA 2K as well.
We can't wait to see you in the ring.
And on the court.
Sports.
Sports.
4 kids find this old
Wrestling seems like it makes a good video game in theory.
armed with nothing but youthful
In theory.
enthusiasm and a profound lack of preparation. Boom! Terrible at steering a raft. Let's slay some trees. Awesome! You nailed it!
Recreate Lord of the Flies.
Tastes amazing, doesn't it?
I have the conch.
Really have started to
I have the conch.
Next stop, the top.
I have the conch of power.
Nicely done. Well, I think that's everything. Let's set sail.
I'm
This
disappearing.
time for home.
I have to be the right distance from my camera for it to pick me up.
I'm Dave
So I
Crooks.
can't lean back.
Apparently, yeah.
Here's the first look at Enter the Gungeon 2.
I still haven't even beaten the first one.
The Gungeon's depths in our roguelike shooter sequel.
I've never heard of this.
Now reloaded in a new 3D
Enter the
outside.
There's so
Gungeon
much
is
stuff I've never
a
heard of.
twin
You can
stick
expect some fan
shooter.
favorite elements to return. We're still working on the game.
It's
We're
a
excited
bullet hell
to share
twin
more
stick
with you in the
shooter.
future.
There's so many games out there just never heard of, never tried. They look great. I just don't have the time or drive to play them.
Enter the
More money.
Gungeon's one of the better ones. And this looks like No Man's Sky, but like chibi. I thought this was actually a dumbed down version of No Man's Sky the first time I saw it. Ah. New game.
Ah,
Don't know what it is.
That looks interesting enough.
Looks like Devolver Digital's version of No Man's Sky.
From CD Projekt Red. We are delighted to bring the immersive world of the dark
I still need to play Cyberpunk. I've got it on my PC.
Same. Like I
my
played
PC
it
cannot
at
handle
launch.
adventure RPG set in night.
Yeah, the PS4 cannot handle
No,
Cyberpunk
my
at all.
PC cannot handle it.
Oh well,
Get ready to meet
that's a skill issue.
characters and discover engaging stories when Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition comes to Nintendo Switch.
I need to upgrade. Probably not with my tax return. I'll get a new PC.
こんにちは
Laptop something.
スクエアエニックスの浜口です任天堂
Kingdom Hearts
2で
4?
ファイナルファ
No.
ンタジー7リメイクインターグレー
No,
ド
Final Fantasy VII Remake
本
Intergrade.
作はミッドガル脱出までを
Oh, is that the part 3?
3部作シリーズの一作目
This
とな
is
り
part
20
1
年
and
以上
1 and
の
a
時を
half.
経て再創作された
This
新
is
しい
1 and a
エクセ
half?
ブを体験いただきます
Christ.
Yep, it's Yuffie's side story that's happening during the first part before the rest of the
Oh.
party meets up with Yuffie.
Interesting.
Yep.
Beneath Tagumi, Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight Silk Song, which it's new
Story of
Hollow Knight.
Seasons. Good
Story of
universe.
Seasons, aka Harvest Moon.
Good one, Brittany.
Final Fantasy Part
Final
1
Fantasy
plus
Part
1.5, 358
days
days.
recoded. Ooh.
New Marvel beat 'em up. Nobunaga's Ambition. Because Nintendo won't make another F-Zero game, we're going to have to make our own F-Zero game at home. Shadow Labyrinth, based off of that one secret level.
Free animal. Fortnite, of course.
Yeah. Fortnite has to play on everything.
Ridge Racer!
Ridge Racer! New Professor Layton. New Tamagotchi.
Plaza. Human fall flat. What? Some kind of gravity sim?
We've shown a lot of games so far.
Yes, you
The
have.
next game will be the last from our publishing and development partners. Please take a
Metroid
look.
Prime. I know you already did it, but give it to me again. No.
Now,
That
see if you
was,
can guess what this is. Because it took me a while to figure it out, and I was always, no matter what, you're going to be wrong.
It's not Devil May Cry?
It's not Devil May Cry.
My blood.
Last of Us?
Nope.
I give you my life. Turn, O wheel, and transport him to a night of moonlight, to humanity's very dusk.
Now, here I thought it was going to be, crap. I forget the name of it. Dishonored. At first, I thought that was like another Mark of the Outsider or something from Dishonored. But no, From Software. The same people that made Bloodborne, Elden Ring, the Souls games.
Dark Souls. Yeah.
So everybody's looking at this going, okay, what series from Software does this look like the most? And I'll give you a hint, it's Bloodborne.
Yeah, that seems to track.
But it's not Bloodborne. Because Bloodborne does not have robots that fly with jetpacks. Or have moons with angel wings. Very much a vampire game, though.
What the fuck? Nice ass.
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon, as befits the queen to depart.
Oh, it's Brother Brittany.
You are able, carrier of blood.
Look at his stupid little arms!
I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm in. I'm sold.
The moon tears will flow for one, and one alone.
The Dusk Bloods, everybody.
Okay.
A brand new series. It looks like Bloodborne. But no.
Soulsborne game? New IPs?
It
new
is
Soulsborne,
definitely in the
just dropped.
Soulsborne From Software wheelhouse. Only on Nintendo Switch 2. It's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive.
By From Software. We'll be publishing a creator's voice article where the game's director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, will share more details about the game, so please check it out when it's available. That's all from our publishing and development partners. We'd like to thank the developers who appeared today, as well as our publishing and development partners who prepared footage for this presentation. In addition to what you saw today, our partners are working on many games coming to Nintendo Switch 2. We'll showcase more games in the future, so we hope you're looking forward to it. Next, please take a look at this.
Now, when everybody was watching this live, I think everybody was expecting it to be Smash. But it is definitely Kirby.
Poyo!
Oh no, the little Poyo!
What?
Now, if everybody remembers the GameCube classic, Kirby's Air Ride.
Would you believe me if I said I've never played a Kirby game?
I believe it, and you should fix that.
I should. 100%. I agree.
The Kirby game, almost every Kirby game I've played has been at least a 7 out of 10, if not better.
Good old Sakurai.
The best ones were for the Super Nintendo.
Kirby Air Ride,
That's my
originally
opinion.
released on the Nintendo GameCube system over
Forgotten
20 years
Realm,
ago, is getting a
Kirby and the
brand new
Forgotten
game.
Land was actually
We hope
really
you're
good
looking forward to Kirby Air
for a
Riders,
3D Kirby.
directed by Masahiro Sakurai. Next is our
Yeah,
last trailer
he actually
for
does
today.
things besides Smash Bros.
Please take a look.
Yeah, Kirby's Dream Land is the first one. It's the original. But Kirby's Dream Land 3 and Kirby Superstar were my jam back in the day. Now, what game do you think this is? Before you see the main character.
Oh, Donkey Kong.
I was going to give you the hint that it was from Rareware, but yeah. Yep. It's Donkey Kong.
I mean, there's a chimp in the background that looks like Diddy Kong, so.
But it was the thing with eyes, like the various things that have eyes. That's what made me think it was Banjo 3E. But it's not Banjo 3E. So, yes,
If
yes, he is
if
wearing
a girl wants
pants
to wear
now.
pants, he can wear pants, damn it. He wears the pants around here. That's why he's wearing pants.
He wants the bananas.
One track line. Yeah, I remember there was a Donkey Kong Country cartoon back in the day.
Yep.
That was something.
It was a thing.
It was indeed. Bonanza.
Bonanza. this summer.
Around my birthday.
That was a brand new 3D platforming action
Yeah,
game
the
starring
cartoon
Donkey
was
Kong, called Donkey
pretty
Kong
bad.
Bonanza. With incredible strength, smash through enemies,
He's wearing
walls,
pants so he doesn't expose
the
his donkey
ground,
dong.
and just about everything as you demolish your way
Right.
through a massive underground world. More details will be shared in the future. We hope you're looking forward to it.
Thank you for watching so far.
To recap,
It's like the first
Nintendo
Shantae
Switch
game.
2
Just a
launches
monkey
on
with
June
pants.
5th. Finally, here are the hardware options that will be
Whichever
available
game that
at
was.
launch.
I guess there's a more recent
We'll
one.
release Nintendo Switch 2,
I
as well as
couldn't
a
tell you.
bundle
Your
that
stream.
includes a digital version of Mario Kart World. For more details,
I think it was Seven
please
Cyrus
check
because
the
I watched you
official
play
Nintendo
that.
Switch 2 website, which goes live later today.
Some of that.
We've covered a lot of information, but that's all we have to share for today.
You'll have to wait just a bit longer for launch. We are very much looking forward to everyone being able to experience Nintendo Switch 2.
And it's only 2 months from now. It's
appreciate you
really
joining
not
us.
that long of a wait.
Yeah, it's
Very much.
That's not. That's a very fast turnaround. Like the Switch 1 was 6 months to reveal to launch. Usually it's about a year. I think they revealed it and
Yeah.
like teased it or revealed it, unveiled it in like February, but pull up the Metroid Prime 4 full trailer. Let's watch that real quick.
Yeah. Let me get that here.
And then we can break things down.
Metroid Prime 4 trailer. All right. I am really digging the design for this one.
This is the unknown planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center. In order to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward. She's not alone, though. Abhorrent, alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
They kind of look like Emmys, but
yeah, Emmy,
like
organic.
organic.
Emmys. That's a freaking war wasp with legs.
Yeah.
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers.
Mysterious powers.
Abilities.
Psychic abilities.
These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms
Now,
and to open doors.
I'm a little afraid to kind of take to note what the doors look like.
Were these powers bestowed upon Samus?
We all know. I do not think Ridley will be back again, actually, because Samus Returns shows him partially recovered from being full cyborg. So halfway between Prime 3 and Metroid and Super Metroid. I don't think they'll do anything in between that. Also, he wasn't in not in Prime 2 either. So.
And I think they got I don't know who they got doing the music, but that definitely has that Prime 1 feel to the music, in my opinion. And here's Samus in her new Lamborghini skin.
I can't not see that now, damn it. Wait, was there a treehouse? Oh shit.
Yeah, there was
haven't
a
seen this.
whole treehouse. But
did not see
that's
this.
not for this stream.
No, it's not. I agree. It's getting a little bit late here. I'll watch that on my own.
Indeed. Yep. But anyway,
okay,
yeah.
so
There's a
let's talk about what
lot
we
to
know.
unpack.
That's a lot. So, $450 for the console.
Or $500 if you're including Mario Kart World. It's
not bad,
$500 for the because you're essentially paying $50 for an $80 game, and that's the other thing that I'm not really excited about is that all the games are going to be around $80 now.
Yeah, $70-$80.
Was it you that pointed out? I think because I can't keep track of all of my chats, but I think you're the one that pointed out that games are always generally expensive.
Yeah, like so I pulled up someone else pointed this out and I looked it up. NES games in 1990 or so were like range between $35 to $50, which after inflation is over. It's like 110 to 120 bucks, $130 per game on the high end.
Yeah, and that is something to keep in mind, and I think that should be used as an argument for people that are like, well, I don't want to pay $80 for a game. Well, back in the day, we kind of did. Just now it's like 2025 money and not 2019 money.
And there's arguments to be made. It's like without getting too political. Inflation, wages have not kept up with inflation. That's so.
Yeah.
Your buying power is reduced.
Exactly.
Or the price of things seems higher by comparison. So purely by inflation, it lines up. But as far as maybe you're making the same, even if games are costing $10-$20 more than they did 20 years ago, maybe you're making not much more money than you did 10-20 years ago. So there's that whole angle. So I get the frustrations, and I get the sticker shock. I get it 100%. $70-$80 for a video game. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But if you just numerically, inflationarily, I don't know, however you want to slice it, it is consistent across time. If not, I'm not going to say justifiable, just consistent.
Yeah, I agree. And it like you said, A, it has to do with inflation. B, it kind of has to do with the state of the modern wage and all of that. Again, we're not going to get political, but it is just like it's more of how many hours do you have to work to earn your games now? Is really what it's going to come down to. And what used to be more affordable in the last 3 to 5 years is now not going to be as affordable. So it's going to be less likely that people are going to be buying games at launch. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if there's going to be more sales as things go on, or if you just wait 6 months and maybe it'll be easier to afford. Because I'm sure Nintendo is going to want to sell their products. They want to sell units. So they're going to price it in a way that's going to help them at launch and then probably be affordable for the rest of the masses later.
Yeah, I mean, these companies do their market research. They don't always get it right. See 3DS launch and having to go on deep discount after what was it, 7 months?
But when the 3DS first launched, that was a big issue.
$250, which is the same price as the Wii at launch, for that matter, for a handheld. 3DS was $250 at launch. Didn't have a great library, and so after a few months, they slashed the price down to like, what was it, 170? I think 175.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, slashed the price.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that went down like really early to the point where they were. I think it was anyone that got one of the launch 3DSs got like a whole bunch of Game Boy Advance games for free.
Yeah, they got like 10 virtual console games, like five GBA and 5, I want to say regular original Game Boy or Game Boy Color. Including, I want to say they were not available for purchase, I think.
Right. It was part of, I think they called it like the Nintendo Ambassador ticket or something, if I remember correctly.
Like that, Ambassador program, as an apology, basically, or thank you for being an early bird, or apology, well, both, because thank you for being an early bird. We know it sucks that we're dropping the price now, so we're gonna make it up to you with this value. We hope it's enough. And like, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But they did what they did. You can argue it didn't cost them, the money, but the value, I think, is whatever. I don't know, whatever. That's what they did. Anyway, so the point is, I doubt we'll see that again. $450 is a lot, but I think they're looking ahead, and just saying, this is what we need to sell it at, and the games, will be expensive, but they will have sales, like you said.
Yeah, to be fair, like a Steam Deck isn't that much more expensive.
How much is a Steam Deck these days, anyway?
Actually, let me find out. How much is a Steam Deck?
Now, Brittany, is that 78
So
Canadian? I know that that scale, I don't know how much difference that makes.
Yeah. Oh. 1 terabyte Steam Deck goes for about 820, but you can get it in like a smaller size and pay less and then just get the expandable memory. So here, base Steam Deck, a 64 gig Steam Deck is $482 on Amazon.
And that's going to be probably comparable in specs to the Switch 2.
Right. Now, the Switch 2, I think, is a 256 gig internal memory. But again, it's just one of those, just get an SD card or a micro SD card. And, like, you can get a terabyte micro SD card nowadays. So, like, it's crazy how storage technology has come. But, you can get a 1 terabyte for, maybe like a couple hundred. Let's see here. 1 terabyte micro SD card price. They're 150. Oh, wait, that's SD. Where's micro SD?
It takes SD EX, which I'm seeing. SanDisk 1 terabyte Extreme for $82, $83 on Amazon.
Yeah, $82 on sale on Amazon. So for less than $100. So like, for about the same price overall for a Switch 2, you can get a Steam Deck, a 1 terabyte SD card to put a bunch of whatever you want on it. It'll play almost any PC game, pretty much any game that's on Steam, and you can run emulation on it, and it runs Linux. So I mean, there's an argument to be made that why should I pay for a Switch 2 when I can just get a Steam Deck, and then somebody's going to have an emulator for Switch and Switch 2. Like, there's already Switch emulators out there already.
Right.
So
they're trying to, like, I'm understanding that's a good segue into the next point of discussion, I suppose, is that they are apparently, I don't know, had this got revealed in a stream I haven't watched, or if just people found it out, but like the software, the game cartridges do not have the game data on them. They are apparently just a key and the game will be downloaded to your system, and the cartridge is needed to unlock the software, basically.
Yeah. Again, this is just one of those like physical versus digital. And is it really? Do you really own your games anymore? And when the DRM system goes down, are you can you still play the game? And from a game preservation standpoint, that is a big shit.
Not a fan of that.
Yeah, I like buying physical. Yes, I have some digital only games. Yes, with my PlayStation membership, I have a whole bunch of free games. I have a whole bunch of timed games. But at the end of the day, like when I have the disc or the cartridge or whatever, I have the game, I can just play it.
Right.
And I'm really not satisfied with the way DRM is going. And that's a big reason why it's just like, this is the reason why there's piracy, is because
But they're trying to fight piracy, but they're just incentivizing the piracy more. Like,
exactly.
I get that,
if purchase isn't ownership, piracy isn't theft.
Isn't stealing. Nope. Yeah, like I get that their interest is in preserving their profit line, and I guess I think legally they have an obligation to try to protect their software, make it hard to, show that they're taking efforts to stop people from taking it, to defend their copyright, or maybe that's just copyright law. I don't know. But
copyright law is a whole big can of worms that nobody understands. Like even copyright lawyers have enough trouble doing what they do. I
already don't like paying. I don't buy many digital games for console. I buy like for my PC. I just like I compartmentalize. For Steam, yeah, I'll pay. I'll send you $50 and download this game for Steam. But for consoles, I don't like doing that so much. It's just I've got different mindsets for different tools, and also you can't get most PC games physically these days anyway. I don't think.
Yeah, nowadays PC games are all digital anyway. But if you still like have the file, you have the data physically installed on your computer, you can rip it onto an ISO and burn it onto a disk, then you have a physical copy. And if you can put that into your computer or just install the file onto your computer and just play the executable without having to check in with some DRM or anything, that's what the consumer wants. That is the most consumer friendly way to distribute your software, is if you have the physical bits, even the physical ones and zeros, if you hold on to those are yours.
Right. And if you give it to somebody else, you no longer have it. I mean, obviously, technology doesn't work that way, but because everything is just a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. But ethically speaking, you could give it away and no longer have it, no longer play it, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah, exactly. And now I will say though, and this was in another Nintendo Direct. It was in the Nintendo Direct right before this one, the one that had the Metroid Prime 4 trailer in it. They were talking about the fact that you can let people borrow your copy of a digital game.
Interesting.
So that was a thing that Nintendo was that they announced earlier in the last Direct just a couple days ago, is that you can, if you want to let a friend borrow a game that you're not actively playing, You can say, let this Nintendo user borrow for 7 days.
Right.
And
That's
then
an interesting feature.
Yeah, so they essentially borrow your license key for however long they need it, and then it automatically goes back. Which I think is a neat idea for sharing games, and that is, in my opinion, the customer friendly version of DRM.
Yeah, that's acceptable. I can get with that. I'm just suddenly flashing back to what was it, 2013, 14, when E3 was still a thing, and Xbox was like, you can't share games, and then so the next day Sony was like, here's how you share games on PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
Here you go.
Hand a disc to someone else. Yeah, I remember that. They made a big deal out of it because you can still do physical, and of course this was before Sony decided to start making non-disc playing PlayStations. But they still have the physical disc versions of the PlayStation 4 and 5. But yeah, they're going digital only, and that's just the way everybody's going. So I do like the idea of at least being able to share your license key with someone else temporarily, and it automatically comes back to you. So it's like you bought a game, somebody borrows your game card and then doesn't return it. That was I'll be honest. When I was a kid, I accidentally did that a couple of times.
I have been
I
borrowing,
felt bad about it, but
I've been borrowing a copy of Final Fantasy VII for 15 years. I messaged my I'm barely friends with that person anymore, honestly. I messaged that person a few years ago. I was like, hey, I've been borrowing this for so. They're like, I forgot about that. You can have it.
and that's. I'll be honest, I've done that with a few of my games too. Like I've had some people borrow it for a long time. And it's just at this point, it's like, oh, if I want the game, like I can make my own money. I'll just buy my own copy of it again. It's affordable for me. But I'm 38 now. I mean, I can make my own money. But when it comes to but when I was like a teenager, that was kind of a big thing.
Right.
And
so I think that's definitely a good approach. I think that's an ethical approach to digital game sharing. You can borrow this for, give them your license key for a week, basically. Try it out, and in that time you can't play it. Obviously, technically people are going to work out a way around it, but on paper, if you play by the rules, it's it works. It works. So I'm fine with that. I like that.
Yeah. And like Ted said in chat, it's like Bitcoin. If you physically have the bits on a thumb drive or something, let's say here's my portable hard drive. If I had my Bitcoins on here, I am holding on to my Bitcoins. Whereas if I put them in a Bitcoin bank or Bitcoin exchange, they're not really my Bitcoin. It's in the exchange somewhere. So it's essentially the same thing. That's just how DRM is that what you're holding, are you holding on to the bits itself? If you have the bits, if you have the physical bits, you own it and you can do something with it. If it's out on a DRM server somewhere, it's not yours. And that again, I've already said it in the stream. If ownership is, if purchase isn't ownership, piracy isn't theft. But at the same token, if the DRM service is going to be around, if your physical game card is going to actually have an executable file on it that you can install and play, then physical ownership is the way to go. But yeah, I'm
a word because it tells that that's not the case, and they're just keys. is my understanding.
Yeah.
In which case, what happens in 20 years when the Nintendo Online for Switch 2 is no longer supported.
Mhm.
There'll be no way to play those games unless people pass around correct copies of the games and correct hardware.
Yep.
As opposed to, I literally the other day, where did I put it? A few weeks ago, do I have it on hand? Whatever.
So,
A few weeks ago, I was at just a marketplace essentially. People selling all sorts of stuff. I was selling stuff. Do I have it now? Whatever. And I picked up a copy of Spyro the Dragon for PS1.
Nice.
From October.
That's classic.
I played a little bit of it at the time, when it was new. Never had a PS1 when I was a kid, or a PS2 for that matter. Got that as an adult. But anyway, so I picked that up, and I'm afraid that won't be possible with this new technology.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad and upset, because then Nintendo controls how they distribute games, redistribute games. Like, there's the whole debacle right now about, like, people want Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered. Right now, the only way to play those is to track down either the original GameCube copies, which I have. Got my
Or I have the Wii copy, the 3-in-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still have both my Wii and my Wii U. But if you want anything for them, you have to have it physical, because the original Nintendo eShop is closed. So, and there were some games that were digital only. I think it was I want to say the Project Zero. It was Fatal Frame. The Fatal Frame game that was originally for the Wii U, which they did re-release for the Switch, to be fair, and it plays just the same. But the Wii U with the Wii U controller, that you have both your TV and the Wii U controller working together. If you want that experience, the only way you can have that experience is A, own a Wii U, B, have purchased the digital copy of Fatal Frame before the eShop closed. That's it. I mean, otherwise you need a Japanese Wii U and a copy of the Japanese game, and I don't know if the Japanese version had the English translation built into it.
I would assume not, but who knows? But yeah,
maybe if you got like the Southeast Asian version, because I know like a lot of like the games that like get sold in the Philippines or whatever will have like English and other languages in it. And that's how I was able to get my copy of Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes for the Switch, was I got the Southeast Asian version. So cartridges do contain the games, but only if the developer wants it in actual physical copies. So the key-based games are like a replacement for the code cards being in case.
Okay, so that's
actually being
so it's
the
going to be
borrowable.
Okay. That's good to know, because like I have not looked into this enough. I didn't have time to watch all the stuff yesterday. I've just been picking up stuff through the grapevine, so that's good information. Thank you, Ted.
Yeah. So I guess it's just going to be up to the developer if we can buy physical or not. So I think that's going to be something that smart consumers are going to need to pay attention is your physical copy actually a physical copy or not? And I guess that's just going to have to be seen in the future. And I don't know, maybe it'll be a selling point for some developers to say, oh yeah, your physical copies are actually physical. But how many developers are actually going to advertise that?
Who knows?
So
kind of, I don't know how to transition this, but that brings me to my next, I guess, point of discussion is like, since it seems to be mostly backwards compatible with Switch games, which I think is the first time. Like I said, Wii U was backwards compatible with the Wii.
Yeah, the 3DS was backward
compatible
compatible with the
with the-
DS,
Yeah, Wii could play GameCube games.
and the
Um,
DS was also
so-
backwards compatible with the Game Boy Advance.
the first, the 3D, the DS and Lite could. The DSi could not.
Yeah, the
And I
DSi
found out the
didn't
hard
have
way when I bought the DSi. And I mean, I kind of knew it, but my DSi was my 1st DS, and I couldn't play
All right.
my Game Boy games on it. I was like, damn, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, still got a Game Boy because my Game Boy was not doing so great those days. But anyway,
I
the fact
just
that it's
recently.
compatible- Nice.
I just recently got this a while ago because Shantae is coming out very soon. Shantae Advance, and I already purchased my copy of Shantae Advance, pre-ordered it last year, so I'm super excited that's coming out soon. So yeah,
Damn my camera.
nah.
Whatever.
But yeah,
This is my old Game Boy Advance. I got the battery still charged.
isn't Nintendo great? Like I will admit, whatever like hardware development team Nintendo has, like they really know how to make good hardware. I will at least admit that. And their design team has always been top notch. Like every single console, I think that I think it goes back to the original creator of the Game Boy. That's and the Game and Watch games and all of that. He pretty much said you need to make the console survive a fall from like 3 feet, I think, or 2 meters, 3 feet, something like that. So the reason why is kids drop stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Switch, or at least the Switch 1, was one of the first ones where people were like a little more afraid to drop it.
Yeah, I can understand why. It's just a giant screen.
Yeah, but compared to like the 3DS and everything before it, and also in the build of the controllers too. I mean, these controllers survive drops and throwing them against a wall and things like that. The wall's going to give first before the controller does when you're doing first party Nintendo stuff. And that was why the whole reason why there were broken TVs when people played Wii Bowling. Nintendo products are very strong, like almost like Nokia cell phones.
But anyway, so I'm actually thinking about selling my Switch 1 to, get to pay a chunk of the Switch 2. Which normally, I normally would do that. But if it's going to be fully backwards compatible, like I've still got
I
both
guarantee you
the
all the stores are probably going to be marking down their trade-in value as much as they can.
I'm sure.
Because everybody's going to be trading in their
everyone's gonna do
Switch
the
1s
same
for
thing.
Switch 2s.
So it's like, should I? Is it worth it? Because I realize they're going to be flooded with everybody doing the same thing.
The market's going to be flooded with used Switch 1s.
There's not much value in me holding on to the Switch 1 either, though.
Exactly.
Like I still have my GameCube for. Well, the only reason I held on to it. I put the Game Boy player into it. I don't think I've actually used it more than once ever, but it's there if I want it.
Yeah, I kind of miss having the Game Boy player. I'll be honest, because I have my original Wii, so I can play GameCube games, and then I have the Wii U, so I can play the Wii stuff in high definition or enhanced definition. But yeah, that's I do kind of miss having the Game Boy player, to be honest. But yeah, I have emulation. I have this, so I'm okay. I will admit though that if I had my Game Boy Player and the new Shantae game, and I got to play it on the TV in its original hardware, I think that would be the best. But I'll live.
Well, maybe next time I come visit y'all, I'll bring that along.
Oh, that would be fantastic, dude. Yeah, next time you come up, definitely let us know. I don't know if there's going to be anything new in Hershey for you.
Nah, it's fine.
Although,
I've got no particular plans at the time.
I was going to say, have you been to Dorney Park or King's Dominion?
No, I have not. I hadn't been. The only Cedar Fair park I'd been to was Carowinds because Six Flags is closer to me, so I got their season pass. But now they're the same company. I do not have the pass. I don't have the all park passport because I don't see myself going to any of the other parks in the near future.
All right,
especially the Cedar Fair parks. But if I come out that way, I might I'll weigh the cost of an upgrade.
Yeah.
If I do want to visit, I've been talking about going out to Cedar. Cedar Fair is legendary. I've got people up in Ohio I want to see. Cedar Fair, sorry, Cedar Point. Excuse me, Cedar Fair is the company.
I've always wanted to go to Cedar Point, and I never actually got the chance to do that. So maybe in a year or so. Right now, I have no idea what finances are going to be looking like.
I totally get it. But yeah, so that's just that's a future thing. Maybe this year, maybe next year. I don't know. I'll just figure it out. But anyway, like I said, next time I come out to see you, just remind me. I'll bring my GameCube along with the Game Boy player.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you can do Shantae. And I look forward to that as well. It's like it's stuck in a drawer. I barely I actually tried to pull it out to play Prime 2 because I wanted to try. The one thing about GameCube on Wii is you have to go through the Wii menu first.
Right.
And that means you have to have a Wii remote with batteries in it, and you have to have the sensor bar plugged in just so you can get to the GameCube mode.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I can just skip that and just go straight to the GameCube, can I plug my GameCube in with my Wii's component cable, but it's not the same plug tape. So.
Yep. Yep. I hear you. Yep. Oh. It's getting harder and harder to play games in their original format. And you literally have to be a collector in order to do that now. And emulation is great, but it's just not the same. But
okay.
Street Fighter,
Street
Bravely.
Fighter, I believe the default that are showing is the key cartridges at the moment. It's marked on the bottom of the cover with the white message box. Okay, that's good. So
okay,
that's good. That's good. So it's much less bleak future, much less bleak than I had thought. Okay, that's good to know.
I'm glad that they're marking it on the box. That is actually kind of nice that they're at least explaining, hey, all you're getting is a key, not a physical game. But it still does kind of feel a bit scummy to do that.
Scott the Waz did a video about this too, like a year or so ago. Digital
I remember that.
Physical games, and it's just you open the box and you get a code. They did that for one of the Bayonettas, didn't they? Or maybe it was Bayonetta had a code for Bayonetta 1 or something.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 had a code for Bayonetta 1. The Bayonetta 1 was the digital copy, and then Bayonetta 2 was the physical. And I think there are a few other games. I think Overwatch for the Switch was digital only, and when you bought the physical version, it was just a box with a pretty picture on it, and then a download code. I think there were a couple games that were like that. Was kind of. I think it was because the games might have just been too big for the largest Switch cart at the time. I think that was it. But there were also people saying, but you could fit all of The Witcher 3 on a Switch cart. So it's like, I think it's just more of a skill issue with the developer.
They needed Iwata. Was Iwata the one who programmed Gold and Silver to add Kanto?
Yes,
Yeah.
Satoru Iwata was the GOAT when it came to programming for Nintendo. And like, even when he got up, I remember hearing stories like, even when he was president of the company, he would still go into the trenches and help out with making sure that they met their deadlines. So it's like, yeah, rest in power, dude. I mean, that was Nintendo power.
Like Miyamoto is just, well, Miyamoto's getting old, and he is
Yeah.
more of he's just different. He's got ideas I don't always agree with.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Miyamoto's more of like the creative director kind
Yeah.
of guy now, and still good on him. I think he's earned his position. You know, he can semi-retire, but he's still like the face of Nintendo. And again, Iwata was such a great part of Nintendo, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but the guy that actually like designed the one of the designers for the consoles, especially for the portable consoles. I forget his name offhand, but I remember, like, Nintendo had a lot of really cool people that really cared about. I mean, Nintendo is a toy company, has always been a toy company. Playing cards and toys, even long before the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Famicom. It was toys, playing cards, and they kept that as their guiding focus, and that's one of the things. Like when they came out with the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto recently, the museum direct, if you want to call it that. I think it actually was a museum direct, with Shigeru Miyamoto, kind of explaining like, this museum is originally meant to be for new hires, but it's also for the public. They originally built the Nintendo Museum to bring in new hires from Nintendo to understand what the core concept of Nintendo is. And it literally is toys. It's about having fun and making toys that last generations, even though we're talking about, software, DRM, and loss of game preservation and all of that. But so that we can still criticize them for that, but at the same token, there's still I think the whole reason why people really love Nintendo and why they've lasted as long as they have is that at the end of the day, they're a toy company, and they want to make sure that their toys last.
They're a certain kind of fun that you just didn't get. It's less, the lines have blurred a lot these days. Nintendo's gotten more hardcore, and the other companies have invested more in, family and fun games. But especially, back then, Nintendo was just more family friendly, more, toys for kids. And then, if adults like it too, it's great. And there's nothing wrong with that. Adults know I love toys. I'm a guy with, my room is, you can't see this. I'm not taking the background off, but I've got hundreds of Transformers and stuff in my room here. So toys are great.
Mr. Transformer, Mr. Gunpla.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's good philosophy, and they're good at that. Whereas the other companies, like the lines have blurred a lot these days. Other companies like Nintendo's gone in both. They've all come more to the center, but that was their core philosophy, and you can still see it in some ways. They still try to project that aura of family friendliness, kid friendliness. Again, sometimes to a fault, with how long it's taken them to do things like voice chat or any kind of chat in games, which again this goes back to the original original Xbox had voice chat, I believe. I'm pretty sure at least it was a thing by 360 PS3 generation. It became commonplace for voice chat. While you're gaming, and then they resisted it for so long. They resisted mobile stuff, and maybe that was for the best, but that's another debate. They finally they figured it out. Just because they didn't want people. I mean, everyone knows there's stereotypes about Xbox Live for a reason. Xbox Live chat rooms, the kind of behavior you see there.
Yeah.
And Nintendo wanted none of that, and I can't fault them for that. They didn't want that on their hands. But taking as long as they have to get around to this, it is a head scratcher. I get it, but I feel like they could have figured out something sooner. But I'm glad they're at least doing something.
Yeah, and from what I can verify, or I can't say verify, from what I could tell from the way they were explaining how game chat worked, was it looks like it's friends only. Like you have to exchange friend codes in order to be a part of that. That doesn't. There may, I know that there are some games with public voice chat, and so you still have that disclaimer of your online experience may vary. So
is that what that means?
Yeah. but of course, like first party Nintendo games, of course, are going to be very careful with how who they're letting in on things like voice chat, camera chat, things like that. And that's one of the big reasons why they even advertised parental controls right out the gate, with Bowser and Bowser Jr. like right there saying like, yeah, we have parental controls, and by default you need to make sure to select that you are either A, an adult and are okay with having access, or B, you're not an adult and you need to turn that on through the parental controls on the app. And of course you can limit all of that, because parents want. I believe in parental controls. It's a very good thing to have.
Parental controls are important.
And so being able to say, okay, Jimmy, little Jimmy, I think Timmy's shouldn't be showing his wiener on his camera. I'm going to turn that off. I'm totally expecting that to be a thing.
Oh yeah,
that is going to be abused. There's
between
going
ignorance
to be,
and kids are little shits, and kids are ignorant. And just it's just a whole thing. Kids are dumb. I'm a little bit glad I went on used to go on Omegle sometimes, and I would see shit. I would do shit. Like I get it. People are dumb.
Kids are stupid. We would know because we were one once. It's. I am totally expecting to start seeing the pearl clutching parents saying, oh no, little Jimmy did something to little Timmy, and now.
Were you watching them? Did you take parental controls?
Were you using those parental controls?
Were you parenting your child? Did you just give him a give him a Switch 2, give him an iPad, and say, go have fun?
Yeah,
so, you got him on kids. Yeah. All that
parents
stuff.
got a parent.
So, I'm just glad they're finally implementing voice chat. I hope it's I hope it's good.
Voice chat and video chat,
and video chat, yes,
and screen sharing. Although the frame rate on that, I'm glad they didn't over exaggerate what you're going to see. Though I do appreciate that they showed low frame rate screen sharing, and pretty much said, yeah, you're not going to be seeing the other person at 60 frames per second.
Right.
You're very likely going to be.
I caught this during the when I started to watch it earlier during my lunch break, I noticed and they brought it up again on the stream. But it's like, you can do the Switch 2 can go up to 4K, and it can
In docked
do
mode.
up to 120 FPS, but not at the same time. You can either do 4K at 60 FPS max, or you can take it down to 1080 and do 120 FPS. But it's nothing's going to be outputting at 4K 120, or the console would melt itself.
Yeah. And to be fair, the base PS5 does that too. It's the PS5 Pro can do 4K 120. And technically 8K 60, I think, for the PS5 Pro. But yeah, the base PS5 is the same way. You can do 4K 60, or you can do 1080 120, but you're not going to be able to get that 4K 120, or at least with the base model. Now, who knows? Maybe a Switch 2 Pro in the future?
I mean, honestly, I'm perfectly fine with this.
Yeah.
I live behind the times. I don't think I've ever seen anything at 120, anything played at 120 FPS, not knowingly. I can, like, everyone's like, oh, something so-and-so is only 30 FPS. I'm like, I cannot tell the difference. I mean, I just haven't
Some people can.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's value in it, but I think a lot of people overstate or exaggerate the necessity of 60 FPS for everything. Like people like, oh, why, people like post movies and TV shows in 1080 60 FPS. I'm like, no, leave me at 24 FPS, please.
Yeah,
Motion blur
especially
makes it look more
movies.
cool.
Yeah, no, I will definitely admit, like, when it comes to cinematography, for example, 24 to 29.9 FPS, whatever the NTSC standard is, or I will agree. Like, I hate when my TV does that interpolation. I hate that because it feels like I'm watching a soap opera, because soap operas are 60 frames per second.
Right.
Like that. So whenever you watch daytime television soap operas, they're at 60 FPS.
That just stuck around.
Yeah, it just feels weird, because I remember when I take my TV off of game mode, because I have a Samsung Q80, and it has a game mode that matches the frame speed to what the console's putting out. So you can do things like variable refresh rate. When I was watching Netflix, we were watching Grace and Frankie specifically, and we were just kind of binge watching through Grace and Frankie. And I turned off game mode, and all of a sudden the TV automatically interpolated to 120 frames per second for a show that was originally shot in 30 or 29.9, whatever NTSC standard is. And it just felt weird. Like I know it looks good. It's looking like I'm looking through a window, looking at these people acting for me, but it felt wrong. And that's so. And then of course I put it back into game mode, went back to variable refresh rate, and went back to the refresh rate that was coming out of the console with, and then I felt better. But for a moment there, I thought, like, did they shoot this entire season in 60?
Yeah. So like, I personally, I'm happy that that they can do that it has a capacity to do up to 120. I'm not sure I will be able to appreciate it. And I staunchly disagree with people that say that it's a necessity. But I'm glad it's a feature.
Yeah. And
people they won't play anything below 60. I just roll my eyes. Or it has to be, cutting edge graphics. I'm
Yeah.
like, play Super Mario Brothers 3, and come back to me. Come back to talk to me.
Yeah. I mean, do you want? I do like the idea of either performance mode or quality mode, and you can play around with it. Do what you like. But I also understand that there are some people that want both quality and performance, and they'll spend the extra money on like a PS5 Pro. And good on them. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of like in that interim between console gaming and PC gaming because I just bought my wife a new laptop that's got a GTX 4090. So she's going to be set for at least the next 7 years, I hope. And my new laptop that I had to get out of necessity has a 4070 in it. So which is actually this laptop I'm on right now that I'm streaming from. And I already, hopefully nobody's been experiencing problems with the stream. But this is a GTX 4070 with 32 gigs of RAM, and I can definitely tell a difference already just in overall performance. This is far above and beyond anything I've had. Now I don't know how well it goes up against the PS5. I haven't really benched it or tried it, but at the same token, I also like having console gaming. I like just being able to, pick up a controller, hit the button, start playing.
Yeah, that's to me always the big draw of console gaming is just plug and play, and that's another reason I'm wary about an all digital future. It's just I just being able to plug and play, is ideal. And listen, Ted, while we were talking, said 100% was for Overwatch and multiple Final Fantasy ports to Switch in the U.S. only, having download codes. Supposedly, for those to Switch 1. Supposedly 64 gig capacity in these new carts and can fit Cyberpunk Red according to the rumors. So responding to our earlier point about just why those particular Switch 1 games were digital only in package, just they were too big. But anyways, glad to hear that the Switch 2 games will be mostly on the cartridge as well. That's good news.
Yeah. Just some games, I guess, are going to be digital only. But
I think that's just an unfortunate reality. And even us far back as was the Wii or first Wii or the 3D might have even been on the DSi. The DSi had some.
There was DSi, DSiWare and WiiWare.
Yeah, had some exclusive stuff that I don't think has ever made it off those consoles. Some stuff. Like a lot of some apps, made it got ported out to future consoles, or even they ported out to their whole game. Some stuff is just locked on that ecosystem, and just got to figure it out.
Well, there is still. I will say that things like WiiWare and DSiWare, without that, we wouldn't have Shantae 2. Risky's Revenge was a DSiWare title. Before she got popular enough to be on every console imaginable now.
Shantae was first Shantae was a original Game Boy game, but it just came out too late in the life cycle. So
it was right at the edge of the life cycle of the Game Boy Color, right before the Game Boy Advance launched, or I think it was as the Game Boy Advance was launching was when the original Shantae came out. I think I even remember seeing it. Was Funko Land? I think it was still Funko Land before GameStop. Before GameStop bought them. It was a store around us called Funko Land. That now is still GameStop today. But that I think I remember when I got my Game Boy Advance. I remember seeing a box for Shantae, and I just thought, oh, there's a picture of a genie girl. Okay. I of course, it would be many, many years later before I realized, how much I would come to love that character in their games. But that was, and of course, like I said, I'm super excited that Shantae Advance is finally going to be released. I think next month. I think they're going to be shipping in May. So I'm going to finally have a game that has been 25 some odd years in the making of finally being released. So hey, it's what a time to be alive. Today, what was Aaron Hansen? I think has he's selling a T-shirt. I was thinking about getting it. It's today is the best day to be a gamer. I mean, to be honest, even with all of the criticisms about DRM, I'll be honest. There's still piracy.
I'm like I said, I'm probably going to be a day, maybe not day one, but early Switch 2 adopter because Metroid Prime 4 is coming. Metroid is my incentive for buying games. So I bought my Switch 1 in 2021. What, 4 years into its life cycle? With Dread had not been announced yet. Actually, I don't believe, because that would have been, I want to say, a few weeks. Maybe no, I don't think it had been announced yet. I was just like, it's time to get a Switch, and I did, because Prime 4 had been announced, in 2017, and then obviously all the delays and stuff. But I was waiting for more news than that. But I'm like, oh, I've seen enough good stuff here that I will go ahead and buy it. Still haven't played all the Switch games I bought for it, but I played enough. I played Mario Odyssey, played Pokemon Sword, not the DLC. Played a little bit of Luigi's Mansion, played Metroid Dread, obviously, Prime Remastered, and I think another game or two out of the stuff I bought. But anyway, so I've played, I've had fun with it. And then I will probably, I will go ahead and get a Switch 2 for Metroid Prime 4. And should still be compatible with my Switch games.
Yeah, if I'm not getting it at launch, it's only because I can't afford it. I would say I definitely plan to have a Switch 2 this year. Come hell or high water, I'm going to have a Switch 2 this year. But if the financials work out, then it'll probably be at launch. I did sign up with my local game store because. Yeah, as much as I love GameStop, I'm supporting local stores.
Absolutely.
And so our local store put out a form online to say, we don't know when we're going to have them. We're not going to start pre-orders until we know how many we're going to get. But sign up on our list and we'll notify you as soon as we have pre-orders ready. So you can lock in yours and get your number, and that is what I'm planning to do. So I'm just keeping an eye on my email. As soon as they say pre-orders are open, I'm going to get in on that. Now, of course, all the big box stores, GameStop, Best Buy, they're already taking pre-orders. Or going. Oh, I'm sorry. Some of them are taking pre-orders on the 9th. I think. I forget exactly which one I read. I forget if it was Best Buy or if it was Amazon. One of those. I think a lot of places, though, I think are starting their pre-orders on the 9th. And then I don't know if it's limited quantity. Knowing Nintendo, it's probably going to be limited quantity. Let's be real. I mean, they did it with the Wii. They did it with Wii U. They did it with the Switch.
With the Wii, they just vastly underestimated the demand. That thing was, the sales on that thing were insane. Like I don't think anybody could.
I worked in Circuit City the year they released those Wiis. I know I was there. It was. I
That thing was
remember.
fucking
Oh my god.
impossible to find that first year.
That we were. I remember Circuit City was to the point where we were. We would announce in a flyer, "We're getting Wii U's," and you had to get to the store early before they opened. We would give you a ticket saying, "Here is your as long as you come back before 10 a.m., you will have a Wii. Here is your ticket. Here's your number. Go get breakfast. Get out of the cold, and come back before 10 a.m. and you will have your Wii. If you're not here by 10, we're gonna sell it." I remember those days, and then of course Black Friday. Oh my God, Black Friday. Back when Black Friday put hair on your chest. Those were the days. Circuit City in 2006, 2007. I remember one of my coworkers got her leg broken just from opening the door and people stampeding in.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it was a harrowing time, but it was the following year we said, okay, here's all of our doorbusters. If you're in line for a doorbuster, here's your ticket, here's your number. Go back to your car, warm up, go to Denny's, get some breakfast, come back. As long as you're here before 10 a.m., you're going to have your thing. And so that's how we ended up handling it. But it took a woman getting her leg broken before we did that. Yeah.
So I can't. So like this, as far as like sales volume, Wii was unprecedented, unpredicted demand.
Yeah.
I should say. So I can't totally fault him for that. Like after about a year, because it was like a year. I mean, I bought mine on eBay. I admit for like maybe $10 over retail. Ultimately, when all said and done, after about that was about after a year. But like a year, 2 years, they started to show up. Same thing happened with the PS5, I think it was. Started to show up after a couple of years, and that's due to the microchip shortage. And that may also be that's another reason possibly why this is so delayed is the microchip shortage in China or Taiwan or wherever it was.
Taiwan, yeah. It was TSMC was the manufacturer, well, the good news is though, and I actually follow TSMC as far as what they've been doing. So they are opening up, I think, a mega factory in Texas. I think another one in like the Seattle area. They're opening another mega factory in Japan. TSMC is trying to get out of Taiwan overall. I think they're building another one. I think either in Germany or somewhere in Europe. So TSMC is expanding. So it is going to I would say within the next few years, we're going to start seeing a lot more manufacturing, a lot more availability of just electronics in general.
Everything, yeah. So that's, that may be why it took so long. Is just they wanted to make sure they had adequate supply. Because again, 8 years, as I said earlier, is the longest. I want to say any console, but don't quote me on that. Definitely the longest of any Nintendo. Between any two Nintendo consoles, for a long time they were holding pretty steady at 5 to 6 years between releases, and here we are, 8 years, 3 months, 2 days between Switch 1 and Switch 2 launch.
If you count the Switch OLED,
I don't.
Okay, that's fair.
It's still, again, it's just it's same as the PS4 Pro. It's just a mid-generation upgrade. It's not an all new. It plays the same software. So that's So yeah. But yeah. So possibly, and probably they just wanted to make sure they could guarantee adequate manufacturer numbers to have a strong release. So because they saw what happened to Sony.
Mhm.
And they're like, let's hey, our Switch 2 that we're gonna put out later, 2022, let's just say, how about we just wait a little bit?
Yeah.
Just, just wait
Well,
a little bit.
I think it was also the chip shortage, though. I think it was also
Yeah,
a major factor
Well, so
in the
that's what I'm
delay of the
saying is
Switch
that
2.
they wanted
Yeah.
to stave that off, make sure they had adequate quantity.
Yeah.
So they're just like, let's give it some more time. We can strip the Switch out a few more years, and they
Yep.
did. And then here we are.
Yep.
But yeah,
And so we'll see. We'll see how things go. And I'm of course super excited for the Switch 2. Like I said, I'm definitely by the end of this year I will have one in my hands. If it's not at
Definitely.
launch, it's definitely going to be this year.
Yes.
And even with the increased price in games, I mean, when it comes to first party Nintendo, I'm probably going to, pay the Nintendo tax. But when it comes to anything that's going to be that's multi-platform, independent, I'm
Get it on your
probably
platform.
going to consider more likely playing on PC or Steam Deck.
It's totally valid. So,
But the first party Nintendo stuff is always good. Well, I shouldn't say always good because there are exceptions. I will not be one of those Nintendo fanboys that say, "Oh, Nintendo never done anything wrong," but they've got a very good track record. So, despite all of the criticisms, I'm still willing to do the first party Nintendo thing. But I do not blame anyone for putting on a pirate hat and saying yo ho. There it is, other M, other M. Yeah. Now, going back on it though, I think it was last year or the year before. I remember seeing it show up in one of my Facebook memories. That I did hard mode, other M hard mode.
It was 2 or 3 years ago you played that on hard mode.
Yeah,
I watched
and
you stream.
I had a blast. Even with all of the criticism in the writing, which I will definitely say is like, oh, what was that writing? But when it came to the gameplay, I enjoyed it, even if it was like weird controls, holding the Wiimote sideways and then aiming it at the screen to fire missiles. Even though it was weird, but I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to say it's not the worst Metroid game ever. Well, I don't know, maybe it is. I haven't played Prime
Hunters,
the 3DS. No, I played
the DS. It's the
3DS
DS
one. Metroid Prime, Metroid, whatever. Federation Force.
Federation Force is the 3DS one. Yeah.
I have not played it at all, so I can't weigh on that. I have never finished Prime Hunters because I keep getting hand cramps and I keep getting lost. So I've not finished that.
Yeah.
So I cannot say definitively that Other M is the worst Metroid game or not. Regardless of whether it is the worst or not, it is not irredeemable. I agree with your assessment. It has positive aspects. The mechanics are mostly fun. Other than if they had given it nunchuck control, the controls would be fine.
Yeah.
Right there. The story, we all know the issues with the story. The acting is very, very dry, very bland.
Yeah.
And they just really dropped the low battery. Thank you very much, headset. They really kind of dropped the leader subplot without. I mean, they just kind of have to deduce who it is by process of elimination. They just drop that plot. Killed on screen, but they never showed you who it was. They never had a big reveal. Oh, the leader was that guy. It is, I got to figure it out who's left, who's not dead. So anyway,
plot, feels like deadline issues on the story.
the whole turn around, look. You can't move until you find. The sponsor is like turn around, look all over with the pointer in first person until you find the thing you're supposed to find.
And
Fuck
so,
that.
some of it was like pixel perfect too, or at least it felt like you had to be pixel perfect to get it right. Yeah.
Yeah, like the one like I remember going to a stream because I had played it recently, like a year or two prior to that, and I was on the stream like, I'm gonna save you time. Look down. It's right there. That's what you
Right.
see. Because I spend so much time. I was like, what am I supposed to be looking for on my last replay? And I finally looked it up. I was like, oh God, it would have taken me forever to find that. So it was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna save him the sanity. It's this.
Thank you.
So,
I did appreciate it.
And then it took me
Oh
like
man.
4 or 5 streams to beat Ridley because on that. Oh God, yeah. That was the Ridley gauntlet.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
I
so
remember.
Other M, not again. Other M is flawed. Not the worst. Possibly not the worst Metroid game.
Possible.
Definitely not irredeemable. Has positive aspects. I will go to bat for in that regards. Inside Nintendo has definitely first-party Nintendo games, if you can call that first-party, do not have a flawless track record either. Is how we got on that topic.
Few flaws in most first-party Nintendo properties. Everybody remembers the first time they tried to do Pokemon on the Switch. Was that Sword and Shield, I think?
No, it was Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh yeah, the one that I called Pokemon Yellow and Brown. Yes. So I had Pokemon Brown personally.
I bought Let's Go Eevee, and like again after I bought my Switch, I was buying up games for it, half of which I
just
had
for
not touched.
Aoyuki, wasn't it?
I was getting to that, yes, specifically for Aoyuki and her adorable as fuck Eevee voice.
I will admit,
I will die for that
best
woman.
TV voice.
She doesn't know who the hell I am. I'll die for her. Anyway,
but yeah,
I still have not beaten that game because
neither have I.
Yeah, boring. It's not fun.
Yeah,
there's no incentive to use anybody besides your starter, really, because your starter they make your starter OP.
Your starter's OP, and there's no stakes at trying to catch Pokemon. All it is can you flick the controller at the right angle to catch it like you do on was it Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
I mean that's and granted with the integration with Pokemon Go, but other than that, and like the little Pokeball controller was cute, but that's all it was. It was a gimmick.
Got it.
I have it.
I have not. That's the first Pokemon game. I think only Pokemon game that I have bought and not beaten. Ignoring the DLC. I mean, I haven't 100%ed any of the games. I don't think since Gen 6 onwards, but that's a different story. Because like there's stuff I held off on starting Gen 7 because there was stuff in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon I wanted to do. I wanted to do all the Ultra Portals and get all the Ultra Beasts, yada yada. I was shiny hunting one of the Ultra Beasts, and I never got around to it. Eventually, I gave that up. And then I was like, I'm just gonna start Gen 7. Was that whatever was next? Then yeah, and I never got the DLC for Sword and Shield. I need to. It seems fun enough. I was like, there was something I needed to do that I never got around to doing before I was comfortable doing the DLC. And then I think I beat the story of Pearl remake, whatever it was called. Shining Pearl. Speaking of bad games, just I know that it was not developed. The first main series Pokemon game not developed by Game Freak. It shows because it's just a 3D remake, more of a remake than any of the other remakes. Just a it literally just we'll take the code. It's basically they took the code of Diamond and Pearl, or 3D models, 3D sprites, but no 3D camera work.
Oh.
Didn't no modern quality of life stuff like combining the Poke Centers and Poke Marts. It just like even it was pretty much basically just remaking the game with 3D sprites, almost verbatim.
That's
3D, everything. So
yeah,
I
feels
finished
like
the story
a
mode
cop-out.
eventually, and have not. I don't think I touched the post game of that one. Platinum's is better anyway. And I haven't touched that. And I never got whatever I didn't get. I did not get around to getting Legends Arceus.
I've heard it was very good.
I'll probably go back and check that out. And I do not, but that's because I didn't finish the DLC of Sword and Shield. I'm like, I don't want to do Arceus yet, and I have not gotten Scarlet or Violet, and I need to.
Yeah,
And I'll
from
probably
what
end
I
up having to get,
understand,
Legends AZ.
Arceus was what, or I should say, the Pokemon Legends series, I think, is what people wanted in a Pokemon game, like an actual, like, mostly open world, mostly, like, you have to take care of the trainer and the Pokemon. Like, you have to make sure the trainer doesn't get hurt by wild Pokemon attacking your player character. All the while you're moving around and also giving commands to your Pokemon and all of that. So I remember one of my friends, I don't know if he's on or not, but Kess, he shows up in my chat sometimes. So Kess was the one that told me that Legends Arceus was really, really good and what he wanted to see in a 3D Pokemon game. And that's also why I'm kind of excited for Legends ZA or Z Alpha, whatever you want to call it. The new Pokemon Legends game that's coming out is because everything that I've seen about it kind of like builds on top of Legends Arceus, but rather than being it is mostly open world, but it takes place all within that one city. Which I think is the same city that X and Y was in. I forget the name of it offhand.
Fuck, they said it in the stream and I forgot it. But yeah, it was the same city. Lumios is from Black and White, I think. Whatever city it was, not France, not Paris.
Yeah, the Pokemon France, Pokemon Paris, is where it takes place, and of course it's a lot bigger than it was in the original game. So there's a lot more places to explore. They're saying that they have wild zones within the cities, and there's also like this day-night cycle where at night it's fight on sight with anyone that's walking by. So I mused. Actually, no, I didn't post it. I wanted to post a joke about the Pokemon Purge, the nightly purge, because the way they advertise it is during the nighttime. If you any other person that you come across their line of sight, they will challenge you to a battle. Whereas during the day, you're not going to have as many trainer battles. So that was interesting. But they also really emphasized that the positioning of your Pokemon on the battlefield will also affect how you do commands and how you'll be able to avoid attacks. So I think that it's more going to be more of an action RPG with cooldowns rather than turn-based, which I think is a good direction to take Pokemon and still have the original mainline turn-based Pokemon games.
Yeah,
but
we can have definitely having room for both is good because Pokemon, of course, is it's too. You can't at this point. I don't think you would. There would be Rise in the Streets if you changed Pokemon from pure turn-based.
Yeah,
because that's
I
how
agree.
literal decades. almost 30 years now of people's of Pokemon strategies
Mhm.
have been built. So if you change that completely to some kind of real time, there'd be Rise in the Streets. But having that in it's not a spin-off game, but it's a not the
I would say
main game.
a second main line. I think is
That's good. Yeah.
what I'm hoping it'll build into. The Pokemon Legends series is going to be a second main line rather than a spin-off series.
Yeah,
I
that
would
seems like a good way
love
to
to
describe it. Yeah,
see that
spin-off is
happen.
like Pokemon Snap, Pokemon,
Mhm.
all that stuff. I don't even know. There's so many freaking Pokemon spin-off
The
games.
was it
Pokemon Dungeon,
Rangers?
Mystery Dungeon,
Yeah.
Rangers. Yep.
Yeah,
All those.
there have been multiple of those spin-offs, spin-off series, but I'm hoping that Legends will not just be a spin-off series, but rather a second main line. I would
Yeah,
like
second
to see that because a lot of people really loved it. And I think it's what people really wanted out of a Pokemon game to begin with. So it'll be interesting to see how ZA plays out. Well, I haven't played any Pokemon game other than Let's Go Eevee recently.
Right.
Yeah, I mean I do have X and Y in my collection, and I don't think I even played any Pokemon, any proper Pokemon since Red and Yellow.
I mean,
So
I started. I like to say I started with Black and White officially. Technically, I started with Platinum, only to get the legendary dogs, and let's see, you had to get the because they like a month or two before the launch of Black and White, they had a promotion where you could get the legendary Hoenn beasts, not Hoenn, Johto beasts, and then like a week later they had one for Celebi. Anyway, they had a promotion for those, where you could get those, and then once you transfer them to Black and White, you would that was the only way to get Zoroark and Zorua at that time. So I bought a copy of Platinum, got 2 out of the 3, or I guess 3 out of the 4 promotions to get the was able to transfer them. And I played a little bit of the game. I played, I don't know, half of Platinum as my first game before diving into Black. No, it's me, White version. At the time is my first proper Pokemon game. Eventually finished Platinum, finished White, and up until now, like I said, I stopped at Sword. I had bought one of each pair after that. So I bought, I bought Black 2. Actually, I bought both Black and White eventually just because I wanted to replay it and I didn't want to start the game over because I was attached to I was attached to my Pokemon. So I bought a second game because I'm a chump. I bought the other game.
So it's how it is.
Bought the second game, played through that a little bit. I'm gonna beat it. I'd probably go back and redo that eventually. Anyway, bought Black 2 out of the second pair. Bought, let's see, it's Black and White. Gen 6 was a friend bought me Y version along with a 3DS. Very good friend. I need to get back in touch with him. Anyway, so got 3DS and Pokemon Y version as a gift. Played through that. I bought Omega Ruby from the Hoenn remakes. First time experiencing those. Then, like I said, for my Switch I bought Sword version. No, I skipped a generation. I bought Sun, and then I bought Ultra Moon. I bought Sword version. I went back and bought Let's Go Eevee, which, as I said, I have not finished. And that combined with Shining Pearl kind of killed Pokemon for me for a bit.
Yeah.
Those two were mediocre. I'll finish eventually. Like I said, I don't know. One day I'll go back. Eventually. Like I said, I don't know. I'll probably sell Shining. I'll probably like try to transfer everything out of Pearl and then just sell it off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is like a big Pokemon hub or something, Pokemon Home or
Pokemon Home is where you can store your Pokemon across generations. I have a subscription. I resub every year, so I've got a ton of stuff in storage. At one point, I had a living national Pokédex, so I had one of every species at one point.
Wow.
I still got probably like 80% of that. I was trying to collect like every species plus variations when I could get them, not shinies, but like the more attainable variations, like the different patterns of whatever that butterfly one was in Gen 6, gender differences.
You literally caught them all for a bit.
Absolutely. It's like not everybody does. Cool. It didn't do so. I'd grinded for this actually. Like the games I had available. I caught everything I could in platinum, transferred it to white, got everything I could in that, white to whatever, all those 3 games, across all those 3 games, I got everything I could get. Transferred it up to Gen 6, caught everything I could in the X and Y and Platinum and Ruby Sapphire remakes, and at that point I had basically everything for a bit. I traded for some of the legendaries that weren't otherwise accessible, but I had everything for a bit. Some of them I have since traded away, but I don't think any of my gaps would be too hard to fill once I go back to eventually try to go back and fill them back in. Most of what I'm missing now would be just anything since anything from the last 2 generations. I think I would need to fill back in, and yeah.
I do lie slightly about playing Pokemon recently, but I don't know if it counts. I have been playing TCG Pocket on my phone, so I have been doing my dailies on TCG Pocket. But other than that, I haven't really played a Pokemon game in a long time. I don't even know if I'll be getting Legends EA at launch, but if people are saying it's good enough, I might consider it.
Yeah, I'll see what's happening. It's just like, when I think about it, I'm like, it's like, $60 or $80 every year or every 2 years. It's, adds up.
Yeah, I mean, I have enough with the subscription with Nintendo Switch Online and PlayStation Plus. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But just I need to try to get back into Pokemon somehow. Just figure out one of the games. I want to play. I keep getting stuck between Scarlet and Violet because purple is my favorite color, but Scarlet has the hot lady.
Oh, choices.
Hot lady professor. Kate lady professor, and also my friend has Violet, so it'd be easier for me to trade with her, since she has the corresponding version. But I think her boyfriend, has, maybe not. I don't remember. I'll double check. Anyway, that's one reason I keep waffling on that. It's like I'd really like to play my favorite color and like I like the future aesthetic, but then also like my friend already has that version, and I'd like the other experience. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah.
So we'll see about ZA. I'll probably get ZA. I'm curious to finally finish. I don't know if finish is the right term, but the Pokemon Z we never got, because like they shunted Zygarde into the Gen 7 games, instead of like making a Pokemon Z version at the time, because they stopped making third games. That's kind of what the Legend series seems
ZA
to be
is
replacing.
kind of going to be that. I mean, it is technically a sequel to XY.
Yeah, so that seems to be
So-
kind of what the Legend series is kind of the replacement for the third games in the series, which I'm fine with. Make it different. And 'cause we never got a Legend, we never got a Pokemon Z. They shunted Zygarde into just clearly. I feel like they definitely had different plans for Kyurem in the Black and White series, which in theory would have been the mascot for Pokemon Gray until they made Black 2, White 2, and then
Right.
Zygarde, Pokemon Z never happened. We got Z stuff in Sun and Moon, Zygarde stuff in Sun and Moon, but then after that, it's XYZ, Ultra Sun,
Ultra Sun Moon.
Sun Moon. We never got Pokemon Stars. I don't know if that was ever anything. I don't know if that was ever going to be a thing, because by that point we had
I
had
don't
2
know.
generations where they were not doing a third game, so it was no one. I don't think anybody fully expected that. But yeah, so the Pokemon Legend series seems to be taking the place of, what was, I guess, depending on how you look at it, either green version or yellow version is the third game of Gen 1, then crystal version, Emerald, Platinum, those games. So
yeah,
it's just a new way to do that, which I'm fine with, because now you can do DLC instead of selling the same
Buying
game
a
with
whole
more
new
stuff.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
times
think
changing,
that's more consumer friendly anyway, I think.
I agree. And, like, you didn't have to, but like it was kind of a rough deal for everybody. But anyway, I'll get a Pokemon game, either ZA or Ruby, or I keep saying Ruby Sapphire, Scarlet or Violet, possibly both. I might finish. I'll eventually finish EV. Decide if I want to keep it or sell it. Probably just sell my platinum. Not platinum. Pearl, Shining Pearl.
Okay.
Or Diamond, whichever one I have. I don't even remember which one I have. It might be Diamond. I don't remember. Doesn't matter that much.
One
to
of
me.
those.
One of them. So I might get Legend ZA. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah.
But
well,
so
again, Switch 2 definitely this year for sure.
Yeah,
and
100% Switch 2, 100% Metroid Prime 4.
absolutely Metroid
Anything
Prime
else
4.
remains to be seen, but probably going to get some other stuff this year. So let's, with that being said, it's midnight 30. Let's wrap this up with one
absolutely
last
is.
topic of discussion. Last point of discussion.
Yeah.
What is your most desired or anticipated or interesting? What game appeals to you the most? What do you think you're most likely to buy other than Prime 4? Hard mode.
Other than Prime 4, obviously.
Not hard mode, not first party. So taking out
Not
Legend of
first
Zelda
party,
2
not
and
hard
Mario
mode.
Kart.
Okay.
So hard mode. No, so hard mode would be hard mode. The hard mode of this challenge is no first party. If you want to take it, if not,
Right.
just
Right.
anything
So-
not Prime 4.
Yeah, because I will say to spoil the first party thing, I was going to say Mario Kart World actually looks like a lot of fun.
It does. I agree. It looks like a really good game.
But something outside of first party, I would say that I don't know if it'll be Switch 2 exclusive. They did show Hollow Knight Silksong though, which the Hollow Knight is just it's your Metroidvania style kind of game, and I am a big sucker for any Metroidvania 2D side scrolling games. And Hollow Knight is definitely one of the best out of the Metroidvania indie games that are out there. So Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong is definitely up there. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I remember from the trailers that like really stood out at me. trying to think. Like, yeah, this is kind of a hard decision to make. But you know, something that like would really use the Switch 2 hardware that would make it worth that and worth the Switch 2 and not have to say, well, I could just play it on another console. If I ever got into the Soulsborne stuff, like I've been dabbling in it. So that the what do they call it? The Duskborns or whatever, whatever that From Software game.
Because
That
actually wouldn't
or
be my answer.
Demon Ex Machina. The the second Demon Ex Machina might be the only other game that I would say really got my interest. That would be a Switch 2 exclusive that's not first party Nintendo. I would say Demon Ex Machina, because I remember playing the demo for the Switch and really liking it, but not enough to pay full price for it. But I do like those kind of like Armored Core, Zone of the Enders, fast-paced mecha games. Because like I've played like some of the like the Gundam Breakers and you know, some of the Gundam Warriors. Though those definitely got my interest. So I would say probably, you know, for 2D game, Hollow Knight Silksong, although I'll probably get that for PC or Steam Deck. But Demon Ex Machina, I would say, would be my pick of most anticipated non-first party.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I think just for me. So first party, including first party games, I feel like, you know, I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild at a friend's place, and I really enjoyed that. So any of the Zelda games, like I've
Age of
I've been meaning to
Imprisonment.
get into. I've like long been meaning to get into Zelda games anyway, so I'll probably pick one up. Maybe just be the Switch 1 version of Breath of the Wild, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But the game that stuck out at me the most, I can't even remember the name of it. Let me look it up. It was Duskbloods. That's Soulsborne
Duskbloods.
from Soft game.
Yeah, the
Duskbloods.
Yeah, the Soulsborne
I've done a little bit of Dark Souls, Soulsborne, Souls-like games before. It's never been my genre, but it was that trailer was just so everything. I was like, what the hell? I gotta try this.
There was a steampunk robot with a jetpack that came out of nowhere and didn't have any place being there at all. But hey, there it is.
The dude freaking turned into a dinosaur.
It turned into a dinosaur with his little arms.
The moon has a face.
That was so stupid.
It was like
It's
fucking
so
like it's
stupid.
Nier or something. Nier or whichever Zelda that was.
Mm-hmm. But
So,
yeah,
that
Age
was-
of Imprisonment,
that
that
was
was another big one that I was again, it's technically first party because it's Zelda, but I am excited about Age of Imprisonment. Age of Calamity was a lot of fun. And say what you will about the first Hyrule Warriors, because that was its own little contained mess of a game, but it was still, if you like the Muso games, the Warriors style games, you know, the 1 versus 1,000 kind of game, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, was it took the entire map of Breath of the Wild and then just turned it into a Muso style combat and let you play as other characters other than Link. and it was a lot of fun. And you could play as Zelda, you could play as Impa, you could play as young Robbie and what's her face? I can't remember the hot scientist's name now. But like you could you could play as a lot of different people. You could all of the different warrior the champions. You could play as each of the champions. It was a lot of fun playing that. And so I'm super excited, not only because it's an extension of the story, but it is again focused on Zelda. Link is not there at all in going. It shouldn't be there in Age of Imprisonment. So that's going to be nice again to see another Legend of Zelda game that's actually focused on Princess Zelda. Literally will be the third game where she is the main character, because the first one was Wand of Gamelon for the CDI.
Tracks, I think.
Nope. Spirit Tracks you still play as Link.
Oh, okay. I thought she was.
Spirit Tracks you still play as Link. It was Wand of Gamelon for the Panasonic CDI.
Good lord.
That was the first game that you actually played as Princess Zelda throughout the entire game. And then we have the new one that was that has like that Link's Awakening style graphics, Wand of something, not Wand of something. Well, I honestly forget the name of the new Zelda game that she has a little wand and so wisdom something. Let me actually look it up. I have the internet at my fingertips. Zelda one not wisdom game. Echoes of Wisdom, that's it. Echoes of Wisdom is the it's a top-down 2D. Well, it's in 3D, but it's a 2D
right
Zelda game that you play as Zelda. And although there are combat sections where she will pick up a sword, those are always limited as to how long she can hold the sword. The rest of it is she's got this little magic wand that duplicates things and stores the duplicate data of any object or anything that she's waved the wand at, and so you can solve puzzles however you want to, and a lot of I remember like you could pick up a chair and smack a monster with it, and that was a whole bunch of memes of this little Zelda just coming in with the chair, because that was the meme for a while. So yeah, Echoes of Wisdom, that's the name of it. And so I'm glad to see not only is it another full title, that you're going to be spending hundreds of hours in playing as Princess Zelda and other characters that you only saw in flashbacks in Tears of the Kingdom, you now get to actually play as those characters. So I'm excited for Age of Imprisonment, just on the sole fact that I loved the story of Tears of the Kingdom, and in both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, the writing is very good. And say what you will about the voice acting, I still actually appreciated the delivery of Zelda's voice actress. Some people say that she did a bad job. I think she did a very good job, in my personal opinion, of delivering the emotion that was needed for certain scenes. I don't want to spoil it. I'm just going to let you play it. You really should play Breath of the Wild, play Age of Calamity, play Tears of the Kingdom, and then Age of Imprisonment. I think this is going to be, and then we've got the upcoming Zelda movie next year, the year after. Supposedly that's going to happen at the same time the Sonic 4 movie's coming out. So that's going to be weird. It's real.
About that.
It's
About
it's
that one.
not. It wasn't an April Fool's joke. It is real. It's going to happen.
Animated?
No, live action.
Interesting. Do we know
Yeah.
anything about the cast?
Nope.
Interesting.
All we know is that it is in development and it will be released around the same time, or at least planned to be released around the same time that the Sonic 4 movie's coming out.
Okay,
So,
then.
yeah.
What's the movie win?
I wonder which movie will win. We're back to
No,
Sega
I said-
versus
I said-
Nintendo all over again.
I said Metroid movie win.
Metroid movie when? Oh my gosh. Now, is Ridley Scott still alive?
He just passed away, I believe. Or was that somebody else?
Okay.
Let me check. I might be thinking of someone else.
Because I
I'm
think
thinking of
the
someone else.
only person that could do it justice would, because I mean, Metroid obviously was based off of the Alien franchise.
No, I'm thinking someone else. Ridley Scott is still alive. He's 87, but he's still alive. It was some other director or actor who had just passed away fairly like a week or two ago. I don't remember who it was now. That's gonna bug me. But anyway, someone else with a similar like legacy, but not Ridley Scott. He's still alive.
Yeah, I would have to say, I think if we're gonna do a Metroid movie, it would either have to be Ridley Scott or somebody that has studied his work well enough to be able to make it would have to be, in my opinion, it would have to be a rated R space horror. I don't think you can't. I don't think you can do a PG-13 Metroid movie, in my opinion. Otherwise, it would just, I don't know.
I mean, on the other hand, I don't think an R-rated Metroid would sell.
Oh,
like I like it's certainly got that. Obviously, as we know, it's got alien influences, of course. But the backstory is pretty violent if you get into it with how Ridley killed her parents. But the portrayal, none of the games have gotten above a T rating.
Yeah.
And it's Nintendo. Nintendo is again the family brand. They're not going to let one of their first parties get an R-rated movie. The most I could see is a moderate PG-13 for extreme, action, violence, whatever. Like it's certainly one of their more adult franchises, but I just don't see an R-rated Metroid. Just would not happen. Would it be good? Probably, but it's not going to happen. There's ways.
What I really want to see is the
survival
R-rated Detective Pikachu, because apparently there it is somewhere there the recordings of
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. There somewhere there is enough material. They said. Somebody said there is enough material that you can make a feature-length rated R Detective Pikachu. I want to see that. That is, in my opinion, exactly what we need. Coming right off of Deadpool.
Pikachu
Wolverine.
say fuck.
Let Pikachu say fuck. God damn it. Oh man, I think it was even Justice Smith, the main character, from Detective Pikachu.
Right.
I think Justice Smith even said that there's enough material for a full rated R version because they did so many takes. Because Ryan would always do like the rated R take.
Of course, he died, Levin. Oh, Ryan.
All right. Well, it is 12:45. It is. I gotta wake up in the morning. So I'll let you sign off, and then I'll sign off.
All right. Once thank you anybody who's still watching. I don't think anybody's still watching at this point, but thank you for
Yeah, we
coming
got
out.
3.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming out. Just quick about me. I'm KingKuuga. I stream on Twitch at King_Kuuga. But there's an underscore in the middle there. Twitch, YouTube should be the same thing at King_Kuuga or at KingKuuga as one word. I forget because I've got 2 channels that are similarly named. One is for my main stream, my build streams, and then one is my personal account that I just talk on. But I also use the backup because currently I am YouTube zucked for accidentally playing copyrighted content on my YouTube. But I thought I turned it off, but it streamed there anyway, and it was too late for me to I got an email as late as like you got a copyright strike. I was like, fuck. So anyway, I stream usually Saturdays. I build model kits. I build Gundam. I build mini claw. Background.
Your camera hates you.
Build Gundam, build model kits of cool robots, and that's my thing. I build on Fridays. It's me Saturdays usually, but sometimes other nights, depending on how things go. We stream movies and TV shows on Saturday nights generally. No, sorry, on Friday nights. I can imagine mixed up. It's supposed to be movie night on Friday, where we watch TV shows or movies with our group of Aaron and some of our other friends. Saturday's my build night. And then depending on if I haven't done a build stream if I am in the mood for it, I'll stream something else on another night of the week, usually Wednesday, or we'll switch things around just to based on people's availability. Currently, we are in the year for movie night. We're in the year of 5s, as I so dubbed it. We just finished a show from 2015. Next, we're going to go to a show from 2005. Actually, I lied. Well, next, we're doing an intermission because we're finishing out something from last year. The movie for whatever the show was called with the giraffe.
Star Review, Starlight Review.
Yes, Starlight Review Starlight. We're watching that movie because I owe it to Brian to do that. Then we're going back. So we finished up Princess Greek here from 2015. We're going to 2005 with Maho Sentai Maji Ranger, my first Sentai that I watched, which is now 20 years old, and that ages me tremendously. Then after we finish that, we're going to 1995 to watch Gundam Wing, which I've never seen, so it'll be my first time. Probably going to watch the dub. And then we're going back to 1985 to watch Mega Beast Investigator Just Beyond, a Tokusatsu Metal Hero series from 85, which I own on Blu-ray and have watched 2 episodes of in the 3-4 years I've owned it. And so I needed an excuse to watch that, and this is as good as any. And that'll actually end up carrying us through January or so, I calculated, at the expected rate, assuming no off weeks, which there will definitely be off weeks because it's us. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is. So and then next year I've got one thing in particular planned, which is Ultraman Moebius, and then lots of stuff I keep saying, oh, we should do this. I want to do this. Maybe we'll do this. We'll pick from the list. But anyway, that's what we do on Fridays or Saturdays or whatever night we're available. Eventually, I will resume game streams. Eventually, I'll resume game streams, which will be my excuse to play through games that I need to play. And then maybe Aaron will do game streams now and then.
I would love to. I'd love to. Absolutely. And on my channel, I would like to start rebuilding it again. I've pretty much been on almost a full year hiatus, it feels like. So I would love to get back in because I've just been doing occasional streams here and there. I want to get back. I loved doing a hard mode. Really challenging myself. I really enjoyed doing the hard mode. But with a lot of schedule changes, I just couldn't really commit. So things are settling down now. Since my wife's got a new job, I've got we'll see what my work schedule is going to be looking like. Who knows what's going to happen in the next coming months. But right now, I'm finally starting to settle into a schedule. So I just got to cut out the time. And so what I've been doing recently are some Lego builds. I've got some Lego sets ready to go. I've got some gunpla just kind of sitting around that needs to be built. So I do want to do some crafting streams. And then when it comes to game streams, I am looking to get back into challenges. So even if it's not like in-game hard mode challenges, I'm going to
Making
try
it
and
hard for
find ways
yourself
to
by
challenge
something.
myself.
Yeah.
One of the things that my wife suggested to me, it's I have all the tools for ready to go, is I have a can of chili that calls itself the hottest chili in the world. I will be the judge of that. And I will eat all of that and then play a boss rush. So don't know exactly which boss rush. It might be Metroid Dread. But it's definitely going to be some boss rush while my mouth is on fire. That is what I plan to do. You can quote me on that. But when that will happen is to be determined. But I would like to do it soon. And part of the reason why, one of the main reasons why wanted to get back into streaming and didn't, is my old laptop completely died and does not turn on anymore, which is now why I have this machine that you're seeing me on now. So I got to rebuild everything back. So I'm going to get all new assets. I'm going to get all new layout for my OBS, for my Streamlabs, or not Streamlabs, but Stream Elements. I'm going to try and rebuild my entire soundboard. Hopefully this time with even funnier, memeier stuff that I'm going to enjoy. And one more challenge that I have on my list of goals is to try and make an AMV. So we'll see how that goes, but I definitely want to I've got some stuff written down, and also I've got a script for a series, a YouTube series that I want to do. But if I say too much, I fear that I'm just going to not do it. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm just kind of putting it out there and hoping I materialize it. So anyway, I have been Verdict Scribe.
I've been
I
King
keep
Kuuga.
forgetting keep forgetting
I
I'm
totally get it. I
mirrored.
totally get it.
And it's
Either
weird.
there.
It's
It's not mirrored, so you got to remember to point the opposite of where it looks like.
Yeah.
If mirrored, then your shirt doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't matter so much for me, I guess, because I don't have anything on my screen that would. Well, I guess Samus's emblem, chest emblem, would be on the wrong side, and that we can't have that. So. Also,
Semantics.
on my shirt, her arm can would be the wrong arm. So there's also that. If that was mirrored.
Semantics.
It's illegal. It's illegal.
It's illegal. That's illegal.
You shall
All
not
right.
put Samus's birthmark on her left right cheek, her emblem on her right breast, or her cannon on her left arm.
That's the way it goes.
The law.
It's against the law. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. And if you're seeing this on a VOD, make sure to leave a like. Consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for sticking with us for the last 3 hours. And I hope you have a fantastic